makes me crazy. So no, so boop, there it is. Now we know we're live. Just little thing that says it gives you no actual warning. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Michael, Destro Designs here. We are live from Viper Den Studios. In tonight is my brother Toy Box Dave. Appreciate you taking the time for coming in. My new thing that I say to everybody when I'm asking them, thanking them, or actually having them on the show is that it means the world to me in a sense that it's so obvious that time is our greatest asset, right? It's the hottest commodity. There's nothing else like it. And so when somebody gives me their time to come in here and chit chat about all the different things that we're going to chit chat about, I take it I'm thankful for it on the deepest of levels. So thank you for coming in, my brother. I greatly appreciate it. How are you this evening?
I'm doing very well. I have a pile of toys to open. I'm ready to talk about toys. It's been an interesting Friday. Lots of stuff going on. I'm more excited about tomorrow. I mean, I don't know if you saw my message earlier on Twitter. I'm meeting my brother-in-law's foster kids that they're fostering to adopt. So they're trying to adopt these children.
Okay.
And I'm bringing them a backpack full of toys, some Minecraft plushes because they're really into Minecraft, $100 gift card, stuff for them to get started, have fun and make sure they have stuff because they're kids. They're 8 and 7, I believe. So I think I said they were both 8. I don't know. They're 8 and 7.
Right.
I haven't even met them yet. So
no, that's all right. I mean, hey, they're right in that same age, and that's good because kids today, even though they don't need an overwhelming amount of stuff. Everybody has stuff, and you don't want a kid to feel different than everybody else. And sometimes the best way to fit in is to sort of be like everybody. Especially when you're young. You don't. Some kids are. They have those. Some kids grow up where they are always the standout kid, right? They are always doing the thing, or they're always dressing differently than everybody else, and it's in their DNA. But largely, people grow up trying to be en masse, and that's where I'm at right now with my kids. They are in that transition phase from they still love all like toys and kids style stuff, but they also have one foot in the we have to dress up a little bit now, and oh my God, they
need certain clothes, they need certain brands now. Sure. It's things, yeah.
The good news is that I am digging the vibe that I'm getting from them, in that they don't appear like I tried to explain to them without ruining that. Listen, you're going to think that these people right here that you're growing up with is like the end all in your life, right? Because when you're in high school, that's like everything. That is your world. You don't fully grasp it, and there's only some things that come with growing up over time. And so I tried to, without ruining it for them, tried to explain to them that, listen, you're most likely not even going to be friends with the majority of these people when you get older. You know what I mean? If you're lucky, maybe you'll still see a handful of them. If we all grow up in the same area, you'll still see them. But yeah, just don't let, if you feel like you missed out on something, chances are you didn't, right? So nice, very good. Well, I wish you luck with that tomorrow, and all the best to what I hope becomes a new family. We need people out there doing things like that, in a sense that I grew up with a lot of family, man. And whenever I hear somebody talk about having a real shitty family or no family whatsoever, it really hits, because it's like I barely made it out alive, being a teenager and a troublemaking early 20-year-old kind of kid. And that's because I was surrounded by good people, like a ton. My mom has 6 brothers and sisters, and my dad has 5 brothers and sisters. So I have a ton of families, literally. And yeah, it's been one of the greatest gifts that one could have, and I couldn't imagine not having it. So kudos to your brother. I hope it all works out good. You got my best on that. I'm going to hit the chat real quick.
For what it's worth,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm adopted too. That's why I'm kind of invested in this.
Oh, okay. No doubt. Well, then I'm sure maybe you appreciate everything that I just said. Here I am speaking as a if I have anything that I really like about myself, is that I have a pretty good way of putting myself in other people's shoes. Having empathy for everybody else in their situations, I think, is super important. If the world had a little more of it, we'd be probably in a different position. So who do we got here tonight? Just another jerk. He says, happy Friday, Destro and Dave. Thank you for joining, brother. And listen, we're going to go over, I'm going to show it. This week's been so crazy, I didn't even put a post together, but we're going to start giving away some of this stuff here. Matt from Mosemine is here. What's up, my dude? we'll be talking about your new line, the Mags line, Moe's Armament Gear System. Very excited about that. I continue to love it. I'm gonna have a new shot where I got the Green Joe sling and everything, and I got to catch up with you, Matt. I wanna purchase some of these too.
I'm gonna have to use headphones.
Let's see. Orskizio, what's up, my dude? Welcome in. He said weird echo in the stream.
That's my fault. I'm putting on my headphones.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. So hopefully my brother Ellis makes it in tonight. I'll show it again when he gets here. So he said he was sending me something and I forgot. And this happens often because my life is crazy. My brother Ellis sent me this shirt and I fucking love it. Look at that face. Holy shit. It's, considering I feel like I can say that I'm a Destro connoisseur, and I happen to really like that face. It looks like it moves, but it also has these really hard lines. It's got the bolts, man. Now the shirt itself is a little bit big, but I love this. It is absolutely awesome. So I have to once again shout out to the community, and I feel bad because I have a pile of shit that I need to mail out to contest winners, people that I'm supposed to be giving care packages to. I need to create a master list. I don't know if you heard me say this. I said it maybe a couple streams ago, Dave, and the community has given back like 1 billion-fold here. I sent out some care packages last year to some people randomly, and nothing felt better. The whole vibe that we have going on, the messages that people are so kind to send and tell me what it means to them, the community and stuff. But these people, like my brothers and sisters, have sent me like valuable collectibles. I mean, awesome shit. Like most, just another jerk sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 things to give away, 4 figures to give away, and a special package for a third party. I'm just middling on the sending there. GI Dave's, sent me this so we can open them. Oops, I just knocked his hand off. But just to not to sound like I'm running through the list of things, because I would have to literally sit down and like walk around and start writing everything down, because Dan Salcedo walked me into 2 HasLabs, got me the figures for the Rattler. Like, forget about it. It doesn't stop. Also, coming up soon, I want to wait till it's all in hand and I can show it, but and not for no reason other than just we'll just wait. But my brother Riptide O'Leary, homeboy from the community, is bringing something hot to us, and it's going to be good. It's a strategical strike mission. It's going to be awesome. Let's see. Orskizio, what's up, my dude? How are you? Yeah, that is a cool shirt, right? Oh yeah, yes, Dave. So that he's well, I mean, I could just kind of say it, I think everybody fair. He is donating some stuff, but I don't mean just stuff. Like he is donating some unbelievable things. Riptide, if you happen, it's wait till you see this, dude. It's crazy. Riptide, if you happen to be watching, I know you sent me like 2 messages right before I went live. I didn't have a second to read it. Oh, and speaking of which, Roblox. Oh my God, my dude has sent me so many messages, and I'm like in the middle of replying, and my phone rings. I forget the conversation. I lose it. Oh yeah, 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh, let me go back and finish it. My phone rings. I am blessed with opportunity, I assure you. It's the past 3. I took on a job that I figured, okay, 2 weeks with maybe an extra 2 days if we change some things. Well, we changed some things, and I'm there now almost a month. It's fine. Still getting paid what just to keep adding on to the bill at the end. But it's been challenging. I'm a little bit behind on my other projects now, so I really got to step up. But if I've missed anything on the timeline, if you sent me a message and I haven't responded to you, I assure you, just don't take it personal. I am forever riding a tidal wave of stuff. But thing is that I am figuring out how to manage a few things and a little bit differently, especially once I just moved on from this job here, because there's a lot, and I'm looking to do a little more. Like I had said, everybody stay tuned for DestroDesigns.com. That's coming soon. And also there's another project that I can't say anything about, but it's somebody that that I fuck with, and where something else is going to be dropping very soon. I think that's going to be really awesome, but I can't say anything else. So yeah, welcome in everybody. I appreciate everybody coming on a Saturday. Oh, Paul Morales is here. What's up, my dude? I know we went up against the Full Force has been going live on a couple Fridays in a row because the Saturdays have been busy. So the past couple Friday ones that I've had has been, a bunch of everybody watches that show, right? Without a doubt. Mm. All right. So my brother Dave, thank you for coming in. I greatly appreciate it. Usually what I do when I have guests on, people who I haven't like spoken to before, is I kind of always like to start at the beginning to a degree, because I think where we were before is always where we wind up now. And even if it's just a matter of like, say, did you like GI Joe as a kid?
Oh yeah. In
Nice.
fact, I got a short story to tell. I was born into toys, and I'll explain. I was born in 1979,
Same.
and my parents had bought all the Star Wars toys that had been released until then, and we're just holding them because they had been trying to have a kid. They couldn't have a kid, so they had to adopt. So they had been trying for many years. So they knew they were going to have a kid at some point. So
Okay.
they just bought. So my first memory is of, and I have a picture of this, of me at my third birthday. There's an R2D2 cake with an R2D2 figure on it. I still have the R2D2 figure to this day.
Nice.
Okay, that was my beginning into toys. But yes, I had GI Joes. I had everything. I mean, I had there was Star Wars, He-Man, Thundercats. I mean, I even had some of the what are they called? Those Silverhawk things.
Oh, Silverhawks were cool, man. Those were
Yeah.
that's definitely an underrated toy.
Yeah.
Cartoon too, both the toy cartoons, all great.
I had those. I mean, I had a lot of GI Joes. Like I had the Rolling Thunder. That was
Ooh.
just an awesome, like a rolling
amazing.
base, basically. It's
Yeah, I
not
do.
quite. It's not the full base thing. I know they had that, but this thing had giant missiles, so
No.
it basically had nukes. It was
Well,
like that
there
was
is-
too good.
There is an argument for the Rolling Thunder even maybe getting the edge to the what was it? It's a Mobile Command Center, I think is what it was actually
Yeah.
called. The one that looks like a tackle box, right? Now,
Yep.
I love that thing. I definitely thought it was awesome, but what I remember of it was it being kind of clunky, and like if it like when you opened it, it kind of like felt like it was going to fall over, or I had problems with it. The Rolling Thunder, the playability was wild, right? I was actually talking about this earlier. So like think of how awesome the Terrordrome is, right? The Terrordrome is fantastic. But that sat in my room because it was so big. So if I went out to play, I was using a surveillance port, the bunker, the ass, and that was like my makeshift like Cobra base. Plus, it like you could position it on the mountain. It looked a little more real than honestly the big round thing. Which again, I'm not shitting on the Terrordrome. It's an amazing toy. But yeah. No, something to be said for like you say that that Rolling Thunder is no joke. So yeah, for sure. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I remember playing with my GI Joes outside all the time. That's
All the
something
time.
we did. Like I had the Sky Striker, the F-14. I mean that
Awesome.
thing. I just flew that thing outside all the time. That thing would. I mean it would fly around, and I remember my brother, my younger brother. He had the big Cobra. What is that? That big black Cobra stealth thing?
Night Raven. Night
Yes.
Raven.
And we would battle. We would chase each other, run around with them. It was awesome.
That Night
I mean,
Raven
that-
is sweet.
Yeah, it was so fun playing with toys when I was younger. I don't like. I don't understand the children's like obsession with screens like this. Like even my kid grew up with screens. Like born right as smartphones came out, 2008.
Okay. Yeah.
So born right into the smartphone era. Still played with toys.
That's
Didn't
good.
even get into all that like stuff. I didn't even have their first computer until what was it, like 2016?
Good. That's good. That's good. It's really good. I don't know if you ever heard me say it, but I have it's large. It's basically a zero tech policy, and I've had it for a while. I did originally buy them tablets, right? They had the little tablet. They never had access to the internet. They had one game, Roblox, and the chat was disabled. But they would still be running around a world with other people just doing weird shit, right? When you get a public forum like that, there's always going to be people doing weird shit, especially if it's kids.
True.
And there's adults on there.
it's known for weird shit, man.
That's what I'm saying. So they had it for a while. I dialed into it and I was like, yeah, I don't think we can do this again. They had like other games that you could play besides running around in the world, and so I tried to find ways to not strip them completely, but the more it just, and plus also I could tell that they had these addictive tendencies towards it, meaning like when we would have to take it from them, tooth and nail to get it from them because they wouldn't want to do anything else, and then or they wouldn't want to give it up, and then it would be on board. There's nothing to do, and so as soon as I took them from them and said you're not having these anymore, they immediately found a billion things to do. They immediately got creative. Like the very first day, I'll never forget. I had brought home a big box that I put in a water heater at somebody's house, and I brought the box to cut up and put in my recycling thing. And they were like, no, don't cut it all the way up. Give us. And so I cut it into big sections, and they made a fort out of it. And so I was like, see, this is what you do the second I took it away. And it was pretty much from that, because that was going to be, I was taking it from them for 2 weeks straight, and then we would discuss maybe having it. They never had shipped for more than an hour a day, except on the rare occasion if we're in the car and we're doing a 5-hour drive. Okay, I don't think it's the end of the world if you use the tablet a little bit while we do that, but that's it. Like, because it gets into their brain. It's everything about it. Is meant to keep you locked in on it. And like, I think we all should have known when like Steve Jobs and all those other developers of tech and tech users all came out and they were all like, oh yeah, my children don't use any of this. Like none of it. They actually have zero of it. I think we should have all known then that even when those snakes were out here vocally telling us that you should probably listen to that. But anyway, yeah.
No,
so
I mean, oh, that's my dog.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, she doesn't like anybody. she has a very high prey drive.
Nice.
So if she sees anything, cats, dogs, people, children, birds, squirrels, doesn't matter. If it moves, it has to be barked at.
Right.
So there are people walking by, so that was it. She just doesn't like that.
Or Skizio says, I miss box sports. I don't have my glasses on, and when I look quick, I thought it said I miss box sports, and I was like, for a second, I was like, all right, I missed something.
Box forts have box farts.
They do. They oftentimes may have the odor of.
Oh yes, when we were young. Well, to be fair, I've never stopped. I'm not gonna. If you gotta let it rip, let it rip. I mean, ain't no point holding it in.
For sure, and we all do it. No need.
Yeah,
to be
no shame in it. I don't know why people feel shame in it. Just don't. It's normal things, please. Like if you don't do it, it's something like that's abnormal. So
right.
But
so that's
regarding.
Oh,
I just want to say regarding technology, I went a completely different route, and it turned out good. I let my child use computers and play video games and stuff online and use the internet, and my child did not do anything weird with it, did not create social media. They used YouTube for education. Have you ever heard of Crash Course? It's an educational series on YouTube made by Hank Green, and Hank and his brother, what's his brother's name? Oh, well, okay.
I'm pretty sure they've seen this before. I think we've had it on.
Yeah, Crash Course it's very educational. It's an excellent thing to watch, and like that's what my kid was watching. Just choosing to watch this. This is not something I forced upon them or anything. They chose this. And I'm like, as a parent, when your child chooses that kind of thing, I just felt proud. Like, I'm like, this is, you give your child access to the entire internet and they choose to watch educational videos.
Right.
And,
yes.
and with the only social media they have is Discord, so they can chat with their friends and coordinate playing video games. Right. And they use it for voice chat in video games. That's it. And they just play together, and they don't play anything weird. Like they don't. I mean, they just play normal video games together. Things like Minecraft and other, more modern things that I'm not into. I don't know. I don't. I don't know, man. The only thing I've been playing recently is like competitive Pokemon, which is a whole different breed of video game. So.
I'm pretty sure my cousin plays that. I think he has something on I'd say it hooks to the internet, but he does something with Pokemon on there. Yes,
The
that is
Switch.
that is a whole other. Oh, that's probably it. Yeah, it is a whole other world. My brother Avi from Figure Fight Club. He's got the couple shows over the week under the Figure Fight Club umbrella. But I know that my man recently has gotten into cards, ripping cards, and loving the Pokemon, which I know the cards are not the same as
Right
the
now, it's off the charts, pure gambling. The prices
yes,
and how scalpers are ruining it for everyone. It's
yes.
not good.
No, it's not good. And
And
that's when you say scalpers, that's about like weighing the packs, right? And doing shit
oh
like
no
that.
no 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 no! It's walking into a Walmart and taking every single box off the shelf, putting it into your cart, and walking away while a mother and a child are looking through them.
Oh, Jesus.
That's on video, by the way, on YouTube. I mean, these are things I've seen, like on and and it's overwhelming. Someone actually got shot over this already.
Wow.
Like this is insane. Yeah, no, it's insane. I won't even touch the Pokemon cards. Like I'm just the competitive stuff. It's pure PvP. It's player versus player. I'm playing random people from like hundreds of thousands of people around the world, all playing, and I'm playing random people, and it's just like turn-based tactical combat. So
Wow.
I mean, think chess, but more graphical and colorful, with
Right.
fireballs and stuff, lightning bolts and stuff. But
Okay.
it's
Okay.
basically chess.
Right. That's cool.
You're thinking 10 moves ahead. You're trying to anticipate every move your opponent can do. You have to keep track of your strengths and weaknesses, and every ability. There's 18 different like types, and they all have different strengths and weaknesses against all the other ones, and you have to keep track of all of that. And then
Right.
there's
Right.
different
Right.
move priorities and stuff. Oh, it gets complicated. And then there's held items and abilities, and it really gets complicated. I don't understand half of it yet. So
Right. 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 Just another jerk fellow card collector. I'm not sure if he's active anymore. I know he's told me he used to collect the Magic, right? I think, or something like that. But he says, or downloading apps to sort the blind bits, which I assume that has something to do with the card collecting nastiness that we were talking about. Yeah, that's unfortunately a thing with the scalpers. So even and like so, it's so funny how scalpers will take advantage of any kind of thing. So where I live, upstate New York, in the Albany area, there's a band called Section 8. It was a huge band from around here. They stopped playing shows like a very long time ago. And whenever asked about playing a reunion, they just always said no. We're talking, they didn't play a show for like 15 years, maybe more. And people begged for it. And then finally one day they were like, all right, we're going to do one. It sold out in like 2 seconds. Then they announced a second night because it was so out of control. And they had a bunch of other bands who hadn't played together in a while. It was really awesome. But when that second show hit, it's like the scalpers saw, I don't know if there's something that tracks, oh, look at, there was this event. It sold out the first night in like 6 minutes. Here's the second night. And so I remember it sold out and people were like, where are all these fucking tickets? And sure enough, when you went and looked, there was a whole bunch of them. Somebody had picked them up, and whatever they were, for instead of $35, they were like $160. It was nuts. People were pissed. And I don't remember what happened. I know I got lucky the second night. My brother Pat Anderson had a ticket, and I almost didn't make it the second night because I was trashed from the first night. The first night was my favorite band of all time actually opened up the show, or they were second or third or something like that. And then it was two other good bands in the Section 8, and I was lastered. And I had to have a bit of hair of the dog to make it to the second night, but I did, and it was two of the best shows I'd ever seen. It was fantastic. But yeah, so scalpers, yeah, fuck them, for
no,
sure.
I hate scalpers. I mean, back in the day, you didn't have to. I mean, I remember like like House of Blues in Chicago. When I was growing up, I went there to see a punk concert. I didn't have a ticket. I got in. I bought it my way in with a bag of weed. Because that's how it works, man. You don't have to have money when
Listen,
you got weed.
100%,
Now
100%.
that was funny though, because that was a way to get into a concert that you don't expect to work, but it did, and they didn't
Right.
care. And there are police everywhere, you know. And it was not legal back then, so
For sure, for sure. So yeah, just to kind of circle back, we were talking. So you definitely you loved GI Joe, but you were into some other stuff you had mentioned like Silverhawks. Now, was there anything outside of figures? Like I've been thinking back because I know I liked. Do you remember those Construct set? It would have like the wood circle with a bunch of holes around it, and it
Yeah.
came with like the sticks, and you could build shit. I remember I had those. I also had or was it the Erector set? I think it was all the metal parts with the nuts and the bolts you could put together. I remember having those. I remember thinking they were awesome. Uh, I think Sorry might go back that far with the Trouble Bubble where you push a boop boop. I remember that fucking game.
I had one of those. I
That game
remember
is
those.
awesome. I played with it with the kids.
Oh, we played all kinds of board games growing up. I mean,
Nice.
I got into D&D when I was 6, Dungeons and Dragons. I got into
Okay.
like I was 6 years old when my cousin, who mind you, my cousin was my best friend for most of my life. He moved within into like a block of within a block of
Right.
me, like when I was 6 and he was 8. And from that point, we basically hung out for the next 30 years until he passed away, which is sad, but that's so that was like a decade ago. So
Right.
yeah, it would have been 40 years now. I mean, I grew up with this person, and but he got me into Dungeons and Dragons, but we did more than that. We played every board game out there that you can think of. I mean, we played the good ones, the bad ones. It didn't matter. Everything from Sorry to Shoots and Ladders to
Nice.
chess to D&D to
That's what's up.
we had that one board game where they had the VHS tape you had to put in, and it played like scenes, and you had to follow like along and do things at the right time.
Right.
And you had to rewind or fast forward depending on outcomes.
So I just got corrected. Trouble is the one that had the pop-o-matic bubble. Sorry was the one where what was Sorry? Sorry is where you got.
So-
Was it
the-
dice?
yeah, it was dice, but it was figures that
The little things went on
Winner-
the outside, and you had to go all the way around and then into your big yellow bubble.
Yeah.
But how did you get around? Was it just dice?
I think so.
Eric,
Man,
what's
I
up, my buddy?
haven't played so long.
I know. Well,
man.
I definitely just like combined both of those games, called it Sorry, and put the Trouble Bubble thing in there. I keep calling it the Trouble Bubble, but yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
to
no
be
doubt.
fair, I mean, I think it was just a pair of dice, so I mean,
Right.
why not?
Right.
It would work.
And what part of the country did you grow up?
Chicago.
Oh,
in
that's right.
Chicagoland,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I grew up with I mean, good food. It was just I grew up, and I mean, I didn't grow up. I just grew up like the classic middle class lifestyle, where you go on 2 weeks vacation every year. We just had a house, we had a boat. We went boating sometimes,
Nice.
I started when I was 8. I started getting a season pass for Six Flags, and my parents would just drop me and my cousin off there, and we'd then pick like when they open and pick us up like an hour after they close.
Okay, nice. That's
so
what's up.
and because we could handle ourselves 8 and 10, no problem, being out in the world, interacting, doing purchases, just general like no issues. I see
Right,
kids today
right.
who are 18 and can't do a cash transaction.
No, there is a curve of kids that have been inside on a screen and not really outside interacting. Like, I mean, it's one of those things, man. You look at some of the things about how I grew up, and on paper, you would say, "Oh, I wouldn't want to put a kid through the stress or pressure of something like that." But then you're like, "Yeah,
But that's how you learn.
yeah, but that's
That's how you grow. I
That's
mean,
what growing
okay,
up, right?
I suffer from severe anxiety. I didn't
Yep.
have a choice growing up in the 80s like the kids do today.
Yeah.
Of all
Right.
the they can just get special treatment for it and stuff, and get actual like people care about that. No one
Right.
gave a crap about your anxiety in the 80s.
No, you were
just
weird.
expected. They put
Right.
me on. They made me do a lead in a school play when I was in 3rd grade. I am like this anxious fat kid, so I'm out there just doing it. I didn't got a choice.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
It's do or die. And so
Yeah,
I did, and I learned to get over it. And now I don't have that same anxiety because I had to push and force my way through it. And I wasn't
sure.
given the choice. Like
I
and I'm not saying that's the right way to do it, but there is something to be said for having like a certain level of, like, like where you have where you have to overcome things.
right, right.
That's actually how we grow as people.
And doing things you just don't want to do, right? Like
Yeah, we
you're
have to
always
push
gonna,
ourselves
right.
to outside the comfort zone. Like
And
that they say, you have to get outside your comfort zone and embrace things you're not familiar with.
I think you nailed it when you said that's how you grow. I think challenging yourself is how you grow. Like
Yeah.
so I wanted to play football when I was a kid. And obviously this is back in the 80s, so things were different. They didn't play flag football at first. It was nope, 9 years old, you're getting rating pads, everybody's playing the pads, full contact, the whole nine. And because of
I do
my
that.
I was young, but I was big for my age. So I wound up playing with kids that were like 2 years older than me just because I was tall. And I was 9 going against 11 and 12-year olds. And there's a huge difference there in those ages. And some of these kids were like rough 80s kids that grew up around their parents that were just psychos, you know what I mean? And listen, I think you and I talked about my parents maybe before, but I grew up around kids. Or my parents were kids. I grew up around a bunch of like not crazy people, but wild people. And even still, yeah, even
I can relate. I can
Yes,
relate.
for sure.
I started my own backyard wrestling federation. Well, me and my cousin did.
I
I'm
like
not
it.
even
I like
kidding.
it.
Like the kind where you jump off a garage roof onto a table that's on fire with glass shards on it or barbed wire, that kind of thing.
Nice.
Within a person on it, a body, obviously. But that kind of thing. It was more MMA than wrestling because we were just beating the crap out of each other for fun. But that was how it was. Like that
Right.
was what we did for fun. We started a backyard wrestling. We put on actual shows. We put on events. We got to the point where the Ohio Valley Wrestling sent out scouts to watch our wrestling shows at one point.
Oh, nice.
And if
Okay.
Ohio Valley Wrestling is where WWF used to get their talent from. Now it's Florida, but that was back then. So they actually were scouting. In fact, one of my friends was signed up with them.
Okay.
But he ended up passing away before anything could happen. So that, yeah. So, and he didn't. He also didn't tell them that he broke his back in a car accident. So if they ever found out, keep in mind he
Right.
kept wrestling with us after that. It wasn't like it stopped him.
Wow.
It didn't do any damage to his actual like spinal cord. It was just a bone. Like he broke bones in
sure.
his back, So he got very lucky.
Yeah, it sounds it.
At least
Holy
in
cow.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
rolled a Dodge Ram.
No shit. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was bad.
High school was a trip for me. I had a lot of fun. Again, it was just a different time to grow up, right? I wouldn't know how else to explain it. And I'm happy that
There were less rules.
less.
Less parental supervision. Like no cameras everywhere. If there were cameras everywhere, like there are today, the stuff I did as a child would have
Right.
gotten me in so much trouble. Now,
yeah.
like video evidence of it, it would be bad. Like we did not follow the rules, so to speak.
For sure, for sure. No, I remember being able to just kind of take off on my bike really young, and
Yeah.
that we lived. So the neighborhood that I grew up in was a grid style, right? There was the river, and then it was first, second, third, fourth, eighth. This was the Avs, and then 101st, 102nd, 103rd, and it was a grid like that. And then once you went south of 101st, you went through like a midtown area, and then it was downtown, and then South Troy, which is the very far end, Little Italy, and like all that kind of stuff. But it was a cool place, like where to grow up. Your weather is very similar, I guess, out there. Like we get true summers, true winters. Right now, the falls and spring are really odd to get, but I always really loved when fall would come, we would have keg parties in the hills. So right, like I said, the river was at first, and then you go all the way up to 8th Ave, and then it was just a huge hill, and at the top of that hill was the third largest cemetery in the nation. Also, where Uncle Sam is buried. Remember Uncle Sam? I Want You, that poster?
Yeah.
He was an actual person. His name was Sam Wilson. He was a meat packer. That USDA, that's Uncle Sam, something, whatever. And he was an actual dude, and he's buried up here. So every year we have something. Well, actually, I'm sorry. They stopped doing it a long time ago, but it was called the Uncle Sam Day Parade. And dude, it was one of the biggest events, even back when I was a kid. So on Saturday, the parade would start 126, come all the way down, and then turn by the high school, because there was it was 3 softball fields and then a huge soccer field. And it would basically have like a chicken barbecue where you could buy plates and stuff. And it was like a fair or a bazaar sort of situation. And then because we were all so wild and crazy kids, there was so many incidents. And then the very last year, we got into a huge brawl. A couple cops got rolled over. And after that, they shut it down. That was it. They're like, yeah, enough is enough. But it was interesting.
That's man, we grew up so similar, man. I've had so many experiences that are very similar to yours and end in the same way. So
right. No,
that just seems like that's just how it was back then.
Yeah, I wasn't a bad kid. But we all got in trouble to some degree for
we did things. I wasn't like out like actually hurting people, but we had our share of extra or unlawful fun, so to speak,
Right, for sure. And and we have all due respect to law enforcement. It's not we didn't beat up cops. That's not what happened. It was just a huge brawl. They came in and didn't want to beat anybody, so they were trying to break it up, and they just got caught in a melee or whatever. But nonetheless, they were like, yeah, I think that's the end of the Uncle Sam Day. Well, first they stopped doing the chicken barbecue, and then God, maybe I wonder if they still do it. I don't know. Anyway, it was one of the big things. So that was always something we looked forward to in the summer. And then when we got a little older, in our early 20s, that group of friends, so I always had 2 groups of friends. It was a bunch of friends that were in the metal bands and doing that kind of thing. And then there was the kids I grew up with and actually went to high school with. Kids I went to high school with every Memorial Day. My buddy's wife found a ski cabin, right? That was very expensive in the winter, but in the summertime, it's just like kind of in the middle of the mountains. It's still gorgeous, but it's not the expense and function is using it as a ski cabin. So dude, we were getting places that sleep like 30 people for like $1,500 for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, check out Monday, which is insane. Wow. It's like everybody's paying like next to nothing. And so she actually found, I think, like 6 different ones or 7 different ones. And we were going to different ones every year. I think we circled back and maybe did another one a second time or something. I'll tell the story. One of these podcasts, I had a near-death experience on one of the first ones. I fell off a huge deck. It's a whole long story. I'll tell that another time. But that was one of the fun parts about growing up too. Was the having good friends like that. And you ever see the movie Kids?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
that kind of reminded me a lot of the dudes I grew up with. It's something I feel like sort of similar to that, minus the horrible scene at the end, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know. That is.
What a crazy. Who made that movie? I can't think of the director's name.
God,
it was in my.
I don't.
Yeah, it was.
I'm terrible with names, so I'm not a good person to ask on that.
Oh no, dude, I'm absolutely terrible with names. I never forget a face though, which is great. Nice. Well, that's what's up. And now you still live out that same direction, same way. I think I remember you saying maybe you moved somewhere.
I moved. Okay, my wife grew up in the suburbs of St. Louis, but on the Illinois side.
Okay.
So right next to the Mississippi River, just Illinois side. It's a very industrial town. There's steel mill, there's a coking plant. There's factories, there's warehouses, and then on the outskirts there's farmland.
Okay.
So this is I live there now. This is very different from how I grew up. I'll say that.
For sure, yes.
This is a completely different lifestyle. But since my income is not based on any like specific area, I can live pretty much anywhere that I can afford to live, and that's it. But
Nice.
I've min maxed my life. That's what one of my friends has told me. He says I've min maxed my life because I've gotten certain aspects of it. Like I get the things I want, and I don't have to deal with the things I don't want. But like a minimum amount of this. I go without certain things, but because of that, I get a lot more of something else. It just you got to make decisions like that. So
Yes,
in
it's
life.
true.
You pass on one thing, but that means you can double up on something else. That you want
Agreed.
more. So
Agreed. My daughters just came down. They were out of the house. They wanted to come and say hello. Here, give me my hug. Thank you. Peyton, you want a hug? No. Well, thank you for coming down, girls. I appreciate it. I'll be up in a little bit. Okay. Love you. All right. How was it? Was it fun? Nice. Yeah, they were out with their mother and they just got back. So I just wanted to say hi real quick. So yeah, I tried living somewhere else. I lived in Massachusetts for a little while. There's a girl that I had met over here. She was from Springfield. I had moved over there for a little while. Ultimately, nothing worked out the way that I wanted it to, and I ultimately moved home. I wound up. I was in Virginia Beach for like 6 months, and I thought I was going to move there. And then at the last minute, I was like, "This isn't for me." I was working down there, and I yeah, fell in love with the place. It was nice, but then it's one of those things where you start to go, "Oh, do I want to live here though?" And then I actually was down in Florida for not that long, only about 3 months, and I actually drove home on Thanksgiving. So I was down there, and I remember like walking into a store because right before Thanksgiving they start to roll out the Christmas stuff. And so here I am looking at like a Christmas tree and a Santa Claus, and I'm in sandals and shorts, and I was like, I'm too wired to be at home with
oh,
jeans and whatnot on. And I mean, obviously there was other things I missed, being home. I am close with my parents. I have two sisters, and as you said, like a lot of friends. And yeah, so ultimately I wound up moving home and that was kind of that.
well,
But yeah, it was
that's
great.
funny
Somebody
because
so I was
oh,
just going to say, back for when we were talking about the board games, who said it there? I think it was just another jerk. He said Payday. Yes, oh, there it is. Just another jerk. Payday was awesome. Oh shit, CG Horror in the house. What's up, my brother? Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a good Saturday. Oh, Pop Cold Frenzy is here too. Represent Pop Cold Frenzy. In case you're wondering, this is sure it's over on his T Public. So it's O'Hara Karate, as in Scarlett O'Hara's own private karate dojo. I absolutely love this shirt. Thanks for coming, my brothers. I appreciate it. And Eric, if I didn't say what's up to you, Eric Wirt in the house. What's up? I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
oh, I was just saying it's funny you mentioned living in Florida because we actually well we visited my parents in Florida in 2018. They had moved
Mm.
down there in 2005, and we had visited them in 2018 and decided to actually look into moving to Florida. We went through
Okay.
the whole process. I applied for a house loan, got approved, all of that. I mean, we were actually like, I got approved for a house loan. I was ready to, you know, like because my parents could go look at the houses for us, and like take pictures and stuff like that. So
Right,
we were
right.
looking to buy a house, fully approved for a house loan, everything, and this was like, and then COVID hit and everything shut down and it just ruined every chance, and then after that the prices are like four times what they were,
Oh my God.
and I was like, well, that's not affordable anymore because we were looking to buy in Orlando, and at the
Okay.
time we could afford it, and then after we could not, so that just kind of ruined it because yeah.
Yeah,
So
dude, it ruined a lot of things for a lot of people, no doubt.
yeah, no, but I mean, it was interesting because we wanted to do because we like going to Disney World. I mean, like my doctor was talking to me. He goes like they go like 1 or 2 days, like they go like 1 or 2 days a year every year, and we go like not every year, but we go for like 14 days. Like we do a big trip because that way you can do everything at once. You don't have to keep going back every year to see everything you've missed because you can just go back like every 5 years because they don't build new rides like, well, they do, but like you'll see it all when you go,
Right, right.
like
Nice.
and flying down every year is expensive, so
I mean, especially now with the price
Oh
of
my God!
gas
No, I'm
going
not
up.
even.
I
I
can't
don't even
even.
know how we're gonna do. We're already planning the next one for 2030. I have no idea how that's gonna work,
Right, right, right.
like at all.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Spirit Airlines was obviously having trouble before all this happened, but still, and something like that happens, and who knows, maybe they use it as an excuse, but I just think that's wild stuff for sure. That the whole fucking business went out of business. Um, nice, very good, very good. I don't fly. I flew once when I was a kid, and I just hated it. Every fiber of my existence hated it. It felt unnatural to me. Like I didn't feel like it was something I should be doing. And maybe I'm a control freak, but I just felt like I had no control over what was happening, and it made me crazy. So I didn't like it. I had a chance. Oh no, wait, I did go. No, that's right. I took in my early 20s. I flew from here to Logan, and then from Logan down to somewhere in Florida. Was it the Fort? Anyways, I pinballed on the East Coast, and I just remember thinking it was terrible. CG Horror says doing a little 3D printing, and well, that's good, brother. Appreciate
That's
it.
fun. I have a 3D
So
printer. I have to start using it.
oh, nice. Okay. Well, I don't know. I now have one because my brother CG Horror here actually set me up with the most, because I told him what I wanted to do. And bing bang boom, he got me in the driver's seat of the perfect one. Walked me through it. And now I have a bunch of little stuff. Like I started printing out stuff like this from Sys 3D Arsenal. This is his model, so it's like a gun rack with all this other stuff. I have stuff of that for the Hiss group, the Joe group, and oh, hold on. I made a bunch of these to go with the alley wipers. So yeah, and if you don't know nothing about the system that Chris has, it's pretty fucking awesome. So yeah, I got Iron Grenadiers. I got black and gold for Dextro, and the Iron Grenadiers. I have the blue and red set for like the Vipers and everybody. I just don't have my stuff just ready for display quite yet. But we will be there soon enough. So you know what? I was hoping we were going to see my brother Ellis so I could show the shirt again. 610 Yojo Daddy in the house. He says, "What's up, fellas? Y'all smash that like button and subscribe." Thank you, 610. I appreciate you coming through. So there's some new people here. I'm going to show it again. My brother Ellis sent me this. Pretty dope. I absolutely love it. It's a very cool design, and I love the way the face looks. I said it on the timeline, but I'm going to throw it out there again. Oh, you know what? While we're showing off shirts, remember, if you want, I am doing these made to order. If you want your own Destro design shirt, now I can make you one on any kind of a shirt, but I like Carhartt. I think that this looks fantastic, and I think everybody should have good quality stuff like a shirt like this. So if you're interested, let me know, and we will get you squared away. What I've been trying to do is there's this wonderful place, dungarees.com, where you can get, and obviously I'm not paid for this, but you can go, they do factory seconds, meaning like, oh, it'll have like a stitch off at the bottom. And instead of paying $30 for this shirt, you'll pay like 15. And so that's how I'm trying to get it for my brothers. If I can get one for 15, boom, after shipping and all the stuff, you'll pay less than $30 for an actual Carhartt shirt that's got that on there. So that's what's up. I've been trying to design shirts for adults, but about toys, meaning like, you could wear this to the barbecue and nobody would know what that is. You'd look like you were wearing like a work shirt or something. You know what I mean? It's kind of nonchalant, which I think is kind of cool. Since we're talking about shirts, you all know my brother Jay Antonio. He's got a TeePublic as well. Bing bang boom. Now I don't know what happened. I usually have a Stevie V shirt on, but I got my brother Pop Cult Frenzy shirt here, and Stevie Z has, I think I have, what I counted the other day, I think I have like 17, no, it's got to be less than that, 17 shirts altogether of his, and I think 13 of them are the blueprints. So he takes blueprints from different vehicles and puts it on a shirt. You'd probably see me, I wear them all the time, right? I fucking love those shirts. I think it's the coolest thing, right? It's overtly G.I. Joe, but also, you know, doesn't necessarily look like toys, so I can wear, everywhere. And yeah, so I usually have one of those. I think you got 13 blueprints and then 4 other shirts of his design. So check out all the brothers. Make sure that they're grabbing them. Yes, 610. Thank you so much. I do like the shirts, and I figured it wasn't going to get bought en masse, and I don't expect everybody to do so, but this way, if somebody's like, oh, hey, this is what I'm looking for, I can just order the shirt. As soon as it comes in, I make it in-house. So it gets shipped right out like as soon as I get the shirt, like within 48 hours, it'll be in the mail out to you. So if anybody wants one, make sure you hit, believe me, I'm making zero money. I will make zero money on it. I just think it would be cool if everybody had, a couple of my shirts every time they show up on a podcast. I made one. That one you just saw is for my brother Mark Fogarty from Destro is my spirit animal. Why I'm mentioning it, my dude. I just wanted to I always try whenever he comes up and I'm on a podcast, whether it's mine or somebody else's. I always go on a quick thank you rant to him for always having me on his very popular show. I have like the most fun I have all week is when I go on there. It's like last week, it was just he and I. Fucking awesome. We're also booked out. He booked like 3 shows in a row. So last week it was just he and I talking about some of our favorite Sunbow episodes, that's just like rolled off the tongue. That was very cool to do with him. And then this Monday, it's going to be he, I, R.A. Rain, and Birdman. Is Birdman coming? Yeah, but it's definitely me, R.A. Rain, and Mark. We're going to be discussing what we think a good G.I. Joe movie will look like. So we're all going to have our ideas, and we're just going to shoot the shit, which is, I love it. That sounds great. And then the following week, we are scheduled. It is definitely me, Anchor Viper, and Birdman, where we're going to talk about I think he said, I don't know if the 15 horniest moments in the Sunbow cartoon. Because if you remember the Sunbow cartoon, brother, there was a lot of horn dog shit in there, right? Like there's the overt time where Lady J and Flint were in the bubble. They were definitely like, about to kiss. There was a lot going on there, which is fine, but it's just funny. So, my brother Lucida Bass, Lou Lucida Bass 3 is in the house. What's up, my dude? Lou is part of the wonderful Figure Fight Club family. You can see him on Tuesdays. He's on the open mic show, and now he has a show on Thursdays with my dude Initial Goose Creations, and they talk about toy photography in a show that's called Taking the Shot. So yeah, welcome in, Lou. Glad you could make it. I actually fell asleep listening to you guys last night. Wait, aren't you guys live? Oh, you're live in 5 minutes, brother. Nice. All right, that's what's up. Yeah, they do a show on Friday nights called Plastic Journey. Pretty dope. So thanks for coming through, Lou. I greatly appreciate it. Tell everybody over on the show that I said good luck, and I'll try to poke my head in a little bit later. Thanks, brother. Nice, very good. Now, when we were talking, you sent me that very nice video, right? And it looked like that you're a collector of a lot of different things. What is it that you're into besides G.I. Joe?
Oh, well, I've got a bunch of custom action figures, just like blank bodies that you can buy. I bought a bunch from China, from AliExpress. And,
okay, nice.
I've got a ton of them. Like I was showing you all those figures, like the ones with no clothes, because they're just blank bodies. And so I got a bunch of clothes for them too. I bought a bunch of clothes from a seller on eBay that makes clothes 1/12 scale clothes. And like I showed you the one that was in clothes, like that I tried out. It looks great. I mean, the clothes are pretty much the same style of clothes you would get from a Mezco figure. They make it a little tighter so you can't move it as much, but then it's obviously it's wearing clothes, so it looks good. And then I also have airbrush and stuff like that. I have a 3D printer. I have a bunch of miniatures things, like all the 1/12 scale things for dioramas. I really just need to start doing. I even have some of those like big cardboard like cutout things where like where they're like cityscapes or castles and stuff like that.
Yep. Is that like the
here.
extreme sets? Do you have some of those?
Yes,
nice. I've heard Good things.
I have like 5 of them sitting right down here.
And
They
how do
were
you
on
like them?
sale. They're still sitting down here. I haven't had a
Oh,
chance to use them. I'm trying to say, everything being moved around, I need to get we need to finish that so I can get everything back, and then I'll have the space to do it all.
I'm
The
with you. I'm
problem
with
is
you. Okay.
I don't got the space to do any of it right now. I'm cramped in this little spot right now with my setup because this ain't how it's supposed to be.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you
So,
there. That's what's
you
up.
know, I've got a shelving unit full of toys here. There used to be toys on display. Now it's full of boxes of toys,
well,
and it's all
I tell you,
it's all the like higher end toys though. So like because I've been buying a bunch of high end toys too, like the
okay.
figures that are like $100, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I've just been buying. I'm making my own world essentially. That's why I
That's
told you I wanted that one. You know,
hell yeah.
that thing. You know, like I gotta sketch it out still. But that thing,
Okay.
you know, like what I talked about. I'm gonna have many things. Once I have the space, I'm gonna start making dioramas. I have the ability to do it. I worked at a haunted house, and I learned a lot of stuff, like how to we had to paint the whole outside. You had to set up the whole inside. So
Right. Right.
I learned a lot from Carney's, but I mean, you know, I also learned because my art teacher was the one who signed me and my cousin up for it. She did not know we were related at the time. I do not know how that stroke of luck worked out, but we ended up at 14 and 16 working at a haunted house. It was great.
Nice. That's awesome.
But
That's awesome.
I've always been into art. In fact, I could have gone to art school. That was like an option I had, and it's one of my regrets not going, because that I really should have. I had like clearly, like, my art teacher saw something in me. I was recommended. They were going to pay for it. Like, I just didn't want to go at the time. That wasn't where I wanted to go. I was really into computers. I ended up doing like network security systems administrations, that kind of thing. So,
Okay.
and then also I can build a computer. I even can solder. I mean, I learned how to
Nice.
solder. I had to grow up in the 80s, so soldering was
Right.
required.
Right.
Like,
Right. Right.
that's a thing, you know?
Yeah. No.
So I mean,
no.
I learned how to do stuff in shop. Like, I can do basic woodwork. I know how to use a lathe. I can do some very basic stuff, like cutting wood into shapes if I had the right tools, like band saws and stuff. You know, and
Sure. Sure.
I
That's
know
what's
how
up.
to use them safely.
There you
They
go.
taught us that. You know, they
There
had
you go.
actual shop classes back then. You know, I
Well,
remember those. Those.
the table saw is I mean, don't get me wrong, you can injure yourself with other things, but the table saw is like by far the most dangerous. You will lose fingers in the blink of an eye. Now have you seen the ones that they have now? It's called Saw Stop. It's a
Yeah, where
particular
it's,
type, yeah,
I
where the
seen the hot
electric
dog test.
crazy, right? That shit is
Hmm.
crazy. I don't know how they do it, but that shit is for real. So if an accident happens, your hand gets sucked in there, you don't lose, you literally, oh my God, I can't even think about
You
that.
just get a little cut instead of a loss of finger.
Barely
Or more.
touched.
Yeah.
Because dude, I use table saw all the time, and I gotta be honest with you, it doesn't make me nervous, but I don't like doing it, right? The trick,
We had a piece of wood to push the other stuff, like through, so you didn't have to actually get in there and get near it.
oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you definitely want to use like a push stick if you can, where you're pushing from the side and then pushing back like this. Oh, I actually just put it together the other day. It's I'm not gonna remember the name of it, but they have this one design that it goes over the blade, right? So it's got rubber on each side, and then it has a channel, so that way you can hold the stuff that's on one side of the blade and the other when you push it through like that, and it's so much safer than anything else.
Oh,
Matt
okay.
from Mosemine says kickbacks are always fun. I had a kickback once, hit me right in the face. My hands were fine, but it knocked my hat off. And if I didn't have the glasses on that I had, I most likely would have had a black eye. So that was definitely fun. And the worst part was I had to get right back up there and do it again. I couldn't like not. I I could not do it. So yeah, that was definitely fun. But yeah, brother, we got to talk more about that project that we were talking about. I definitely want to do that for you. It's actually very exciting sounding, and what a great idea too. I thought it was like. Feel free to talk about it if you want.
Oh well, yeah. It's beyond that though. Like I actually have ideas. Like I need to get a bunch of little parts. I'm gonna make these mechanical robots just out of like a bunch of like, parts like screwed together with joints
Right,
and stuff.
right.
And I'm gonna make like they're gonna look very industrial. I mean that's kind of like what I'm going for. It's not like a steampunk thing. It's just a.
Mm,
That's why I mean they're just gonna be built out of like metal and stuff like that, and I want them to look like mangled and vicious and stuff like that. So I have to paint fake rust onto them, which fortunately I know how to do. So
right. That's good. That's good. Yeah,
like
I've just barely scratched the surface on getting into customizing and doing stuff. Like for instance, I actually stopped buying figures to quote unquote customize. So I got a big ass pile over there, and every time I would see like Tiger Force Dusty, and he'd be 14.99, I'd be like, yeah, let me grab one of those because I can like practice this and practice that, and then the pile kept growing, and I never touched a single one of them yet because I just don't have time. And so I was like, you know what? I think I've got enough. There's like 8 or 9 over there now. I think I'm going to let it be. Actually, one of them is I have it right here. Is this? This is the Mad Marauders barbecue, and I was like, first of all, I just took it out to look at it the other day, and dude, that figure it's awesome. Like I know a lot of people aren't huge fans, but dude, when I took it out of the box, I was like, oh, dude, I want to put him with. He doesn't look like he's sneaking through the woods with low light and spirit, but he almost looks like a heavy gunner. You know what I mean? Like he could be, or a scuba guy. Doesn't he look like a scuba guy too, with that thing on his chest? Matt from Moe's Mine has a question. He says, where'd it go? What is your favorite blank to use?
what is your favorite blank to use? Oh, let's see. Right now, that would be, where is it? Let's see if I can find it. Yep, right here.
Or
This one.
Xezio says, I'm not handy at all, and it really pisses off my wife.
It's
Well,
from
hey,
Romaki X Cowl. It's whatever that brand is on AliExpress. You can type those words in; they'll bring up a bunch of action figures, though. And this right now, it's an incredibly articulated figure that can pose any way you want it. And
that's what's up.
so I'm popping the head off. There's going to be a new head, obviously, because that's one of the things I'm doing is none of the heads on them. I mean, they're nice heads. You can paint them, but I mean, I have other heads already in mind, at least for some of them. I may paint a few. I have an airbrush. I can do some of that.
That's
And then
cool.
I have fine brushes to get if I need to do detail. But um,
What
I,
what kind of airbrush do you have? I'm always interested in asking people about the brands that they use because eventually I feel like I'm gonna put myself into the seat of one, and even if it's information on what not to get, I'll take any.
it was a $30 one on Amazon, and it
Okay,
came with an actual like double tank, so it can fill the tank while you don't lose
huh?
pressure. It's actually really good
Nice.
for the $30. I was surprised it was that cheap, but I was not going to question it.
No, right, right,
It
right.
has a sensitive enough control that you don't like you're not just touching it and just like blasting it out. There's very fine controls for the value for $30. It felt like one that cost $250. It
Ooh,
was, yeah,
ooh.
it's really good.
I love to hear that, brother. Okay.
So
Well, that's
I mean,
maybe
I
you
could.
could put a link in the whatchamacallit afterwards on your timeline. So if anybody wants to go check that out, that'd be cool. Because I've been looking at a few, and I kind of was like, it got to the very similar situation with like the figures that I was talking about, the customized. I was like, you know what? I'm really not sure that I got time for all that right now. Plus, like I had a couple things to do, and I was using a rattle can, and it just kept getting me by. So I was like, all right, I'll just keep doing this. But no, I want to buy a cheap Stinger and actually make it. I don't know if you remember, they actually had a blue Stinger, and it was called the 4-wheel drive Rattler. It was like a companion vehicle for the Rattler, but on the ground. And it was like a blue and whatever. And I want to actually make that because my brother CG Horror has made me a beautiful, gorgeous navy blue Asp, and so I wanted a blue Stinger to carry that around. So, how do those scale with classified? So, my brother Dave, how do those blanks scale with classifieds?
They're all 1/12 scale.
All 1/12.
Perfectly.
Perfect.
Yeah, they're all perfect. They scale perfectly. I mean, honestly, one of the nice things, I have 8 40-gallon totes full of action figures right in front of my desk, stacked up here.
Okay.
There's a
Nice.
wall behind me, you can see, obviously, and then in front of me, there's my computer on my desk and stuff like that. So it's just a plastic table with folding legs that fold out. That's because I like it. It's not anything special. I don't have one of those desks that you press a button and it raises up and stuff. I've seen all these fancy desks. No, I just wanted something basic.
Right,
I do
right.
not need all that. I'm fine
For
with
sure.
a basic. I used to just have a wood desk with legs I screwed on myself. You know, just got a piece of wood and just screwed bought the legs from Home Depot, just right on myself. So this
Nice.
one, very nice. And then 8 40-gallon totes of just action figures. Nothing but action figures. It's mostly G.I. Joe. There's some Marvel, DC, Ninja Turtles. I mean, there's a variety of action figures. It's pretty much all 1/12 scale, except for the Origin, the Masters of the Universe Origins line, which I stopped when they started doing the cartoon collection because I've already collected the line once, and honestly, I am not going to collect it a second time. That's
right.
And now I know. I mean, Classified's essentially doing the same thing with the retro line now.
I know.
Where they're doing, and I'm like, but that one I'm actually buying because it's G.I. Joe, and I can't not buy G.I. Joe.
For sure. I mean, so to touch on the class of the retro classified, I have hope. I think I'm going to like the Techno Viper, and now the reason I say that is I didn't think we needed a retro bat or the retro Viper until I got them, and then I was like, okay, so this is more like the way I look at it. Like, so with the retro Viper is an amazing display figure. Looks fantastic. The ones that I want in my action shot are the ones that come in the 3-pack, right? Because they have more muted colors. It looks more rugged. It just seems to be better. So yeah, that's kind of how I looked at that. Orsizo says, just another jerk. Yeah, the trend can disappear any day now. But the man, who's got the man bun? Budo, my man Budo, which is pretty sweet figure. Budo actually ranked number 1 by the Live from Viper Den Studios podcast. We had it came up. We were talking about who's people's favorite figures were one night, and then I started seeing some. I don't want to say wild answers because it's all subjective, but answers that I didn't expect people to be like, oh, this was my favorite from last year. So it prompted me to ask, wow, what does everybody think? And so in the timeline, I asked that everybody give me, in your comment, write 5, what are the 5, whatchamacallits? The 5, your top 5. And then if it's number 5, it gets 1 point. If it's number 4 on your list, it gets 2 points. Number 3 is 3. Obviously 4 is 2, 5 is 5. 1 is 5. And so going on that system, in the end, it was Budo who was the winner. Because everybody was like, oh, Crystal Ball figure of the year. And it was good, but it wasn't, I don't know. To me, I think in the end, I decided that I would have taken any other figure over Crystal Ball last year. But that doesn't mean I didn't like Crystal Ball. It's just like when I went to go rank them, he was down there at the bottom. But nonetheless, we definitely did.
I have 1 Crystal Ball. I have 2 Budo. I needed 1 Budo for customizing, so I.
Okay.
So I'm going to be making custom. Well, I guess G.I. Joes, but I'm going to be making custom characters from Extra. I buy, G.I. Joes that I have specifically bought for that purpose because they're very easy to pop apart and, swap parts and make new ones out of.
Nice. That's what's up.
You know, it's a
What
simple way to make a lot of like NPCs.
Roman Key by Cowell was the man bun and me. Oh, that's right.
Oh,
That's
nice.
right. That's Wetsuit got robbed. Oh, what do you get robbed of, brother? That's fun.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. There we go.
yeah, that's the figure. This is the you asked what my favorite or my favorite one. This one right now tops. I mean, well, I have others from this company, so technically it would be anything by this company. And I have both. They have both male and female figures. Like if you want,
Okay.
because I don't know that look. Toy companies don't like to make a lot of like female figures because they think the men won't collect them. Yet I found them to be like they tend to be the most valuable to collectors
Yeah. Right.
in a way. Like they tend to sell out very quickly, and because they tend to limit like how many they make, and that just it sucks because like I don't know why. I have no issue with the gender of the figure. I just want figures that look cool.
Right.
Like
right.
it doesn't matter to me what gender they are. I don't care. Make genderless figures. I don't even care. Just give me something that looks cool.
Right.
Like,
Yes,
that's all I want.
yeah. That's the only prerequisite that that I'm interested in is that for sure. Yeah, without a doubt. I don't care what they want, how they want to do it. Doesn't matter to me. Yeah. So that's cool. I love that you're into all these other figures and stuff like that. I think that's cool. I always enjoy, being so like obsessed with the classifieds as I am. It's fun to talk to people that have outside interest in how it relates to classified, especially somebody that's like interested in customizing it and stuff like that. Just another jerk says, he was talking about Wetsuit and he says, robbed of figure of the year consideration. Yes, and I'll be honest with you, dude. I think Mainframe falls in that boat from the same wave because, dude, I know he's like a plain Jane thing, but that Mainframe figure is a dope. It's fucking awesome. He looks fantastic. His accessories are fucking totally in the money. I mean, just forget it.
Plane's not always bad if that's actually how the design looks in real life.
That's true.
I'm completely fine with an olive green drab, like basic G.I. Joe grunt character. Because that's how it's supposed to be.
True.
Like that's I wouldn't want it any other way.
Agreed.
Right? Like
sure.
there are especially when when the design is so good anyway. Like these figures, I mean, G.I. Joe figures are easily the best and highest quality line Hasbro is putting out of action figures by far. Like they beat Star Wars hands down.
Oh yeah.
And I think Marvel is basically one good wave, one bad wave, one good wave, one bad wave. It's not consistent. G.I. Joe is consistently knocking it out of the park.
Yes.
I mean, I've been saying this for years at this point.
I would say that they've faltered a little this year, right? There's some things that are just kind of I feel, first of all, I didn't bring it down. I'm not going to open it because like the Zanya and the Swamp Skier, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, what do you got there? I can't see, the glare has got me all fucked up.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
That's okay.
The dinosaur guy.
Oh, okay, nice. That's what's up. I am excited for that.
Of these guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I got two. I needed the dinosaurs, man. Like, so. But I found out those Jurassic Park dinosaurs work pretty good too.
Okay.
Well, they're expensive, but they have these big animatronic, whatever those creatures from the Pandora series are. They have them at Disney World. I don't know what those creatures are called. The ones with the wings that fly.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That all the blue people ride. Yeah. Well, I didn't care for the movie much. But the design of that creature is really cool.
It is. Not to get sidetracked, but I saw the very first Avatar tripping balls in a movie theater, and it was in 3D, and it was one of the most visually stimulating experiences of my life. I was
That is
just right,
awesome.
just right at that right feeling where I was able to not be panicked about being in public or anything like that, and but still be wrecked enough to be like, "Well, dude, this is how wrecked I was." I Even though it was very obvious later, but during the movie, I kept forgetting like which one was Sam Worthington, which one was Sigourney Weaver, which one was the whoever. Like, because like Sigourney Weaver had the Harvard shirt on, but I was so wrecked I couldn't. I just kept saying, which one is the guy? Which one is the dude? And yeah, that was fun. And one part I remember specifically, one of the guys in the mech suit like turned around with his huge like massive pew pew and went like this, and in 3D I was like I knew it wasn't really there, but it was so visually convincing that I was like, oh shit, it kind of popped out of the way. And yeah, that's funny. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you there.
Okay, it's all good. Sorry, I had to ask someone a question.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
So yeah, no. I remember seeing the first Avatar movie. We went to see it at Navy Pier on the IMAX in 3D. I mean, it was
Right.
neat, but I mean, it would have been a lot better on acid. I gotta be
Yes.
honest.
Yes. It was. I went back and
'Cause-
watched it, and I didn't like it at all. I thought
Yeah,
not.
no, the movie's not very
It-
good. At
it
all.
was
It's
not.
great special effects, but the movie itself is terrible.
No bueno. No bueno. Matt from Mosmine says, I feel like last year is hard to follow. Like if they switched, we'd just be singing praises. Yeah, I mean, listen, I do believe that there's some truth to that, where I try to, but it they went from a year where there was zero complaints, right? And then all of a sudden this year there's pricing is all fucked up. They like a lot of the figures that people got, like, yo, I got that special forces figure and I returned one of them. Dave, you've been watching the show. I don't return figures.
Wow.
But $48 after tax, I was like, I can't justify having three of these. Two, I will be like, fine, because now I got a pair, and they actually look good, like with the color. I actually like them. I might want to put like a Cobra head on it and make them roll with the Grim Vipers because the colors match so well. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know how I'm going to do that,
Yeah.
but I feel like I could put the skull face on them and then slap them next to the Grim Vipers, and all of a sudden they look like they look like they might be bad guys. But yeah, so that's
Well-
so just having things. I think even that alone was like shaking to my core because I didn't think that, like, you got to remember that last year was my only year. So it was like, I had every other figure from the previous years, but collecting the ones, like putting in the pre-orders, getting them in the mail, like all of that stuff that made me feel like I was a kid again. That's, I feel like I don't have that feeling this year because, just, I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I will say this: the higher the prices go, the easier it is for me to pass on things like that. It just
True.
gets, it's
True.
just like there
True.
gets to be a point where it's like, well, that's it's just not worth it anymore.
Right. Agreed. Where do you go here? Orexizio says it's Dances with Wolves with better effects.
It is.
Okay, that's
It's
funny.
the same.
That-
It's the same story.
Right. Yeah. That's actually it's for sure. It's for sure that right. There was yes.
And to be fair, Dances with Wolves did it way better.
Oh God, yeah, way better.
Like,
Kevin Costner
way
won a
better.
fucking Oscar for that, right?
Yeah, that was a good movie.
For sure.
I mean,
I
compared
haven't
to
seen it.
Avatar, at least.
Right. I haven't seen
I
it.
barely remember it at this point, but it was compared to Avatar, hands down.
Well, there's a lot of movies that some people don't like that I love, like that movie There Will Be Blood with Daniel Day-Lewis. He plays Daniel Plainfield, the oil tycoon. I think that's one of the most crazy, awesome movies I've ever seen, and it's all dialogue. There's no action, there's no like none of that shit, but it is just amazing, right? What did you think of that movie?
Um, I enjoyed it. Well, to be fair, I like the first Star Trek movie, so I mean, that's
Okay, well,
that's
you
2 hours of dialogue, also.
yeah, that's true. So you mean the first one, number four, A New Hope?
No, no,
That
that's Star Wars. I'm talking about Star Trek.
Oh Jesus, dude, I'm sorry.
It's
I
all
thought you
good.
said- I'm
No,
sorry. I'm
no,
sorry.
Star Wars is not 2 hours of nothing but talking. Not the first
No,
one, at least.
no. There's a lot of crazy shit that happens there. Okay,
No,
all right.
Star Trek. The first Star Trek movie is most people do not like it. It's a hard pill to swallow, and it's basically like an extended episode of Star Trek, but not even an actiony one. So it's just 2 hours of a lot of talking.
That's
But
what's
I
up.
actually enjoy it. So I mean, I understand like a movie that where the conversation is interesting. It actually
Right.
draws you in, and then you want to see it, and it's actually a good movie. But I think it takes a certain kind of person too to enjoy that kind of movie.
Agreed. That's why a lot of people I know that weren't big fans of the Kill Bill movies, because despite there being action, if
A
there's
lot of
not a fight,
dialogue.
it's two people standing next to each other talking like the whole time. And I
Well,
I could dig it. Couple
I've
people in the
watched-
chat hitting
I've
the
watched
famous
over-
line. Oh, go ahead.
I've watched over 1,000 pieces of One Piece, the anime.
Oh, okay.
And that is, if you've ever seen Dragon Ball back in the day, like Dragon Ball Z and stuff.
I
don't know
have
if you ever
not.
Okay. Well, there is a lot of talking, and like, the action is very interspersed, and it builds up very slowly.
Okay.
And then there's a big climax, and it's very fun. But there's a lot of talking for episode and after episode of talking. So it's something But again, like if you're into it, I mean, I don't know how much you are into fictional pirates, but
I mean, I feel like I try to suspend. I try not to be too picky. Don't deny until you try, right? I'm interested in giving anything an opportunity. Sometimes and honestly, like I actually enjoyed, what was that show? Rings of Power on Amazon, which is like a a prequel to Lord of the Rings, like when the rings were made and stuff like that. I don't know. I thought it was okay. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it's garbage. Wasn't good whatsoever." And I was kind of like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was definitely good, at least to a degree. They spent, not that it matters, but they spent $500,000 on it. The very first the first 15 minutes of if you go to the second season, you watch the very first episode of the second season, the beginning where it shows how Sauron is made and what he is crazy. If you go to the very last episode of the second season, where you see Durin's father attack the Balrog, again, another amazing scene. That, like, visually, how they wrote it, like everything about it, it was just, I don't know, it was very good. But so there's definitely it's a wide range of things that I'm interested in. Star Trek, it's not that I don't like Star Trek. I just didn't grow up with it as a kid. Like I remember one of my cousins who I spent a lot of time with, his dad liked it, and so like it was always on somewhere, and I remember seeing it. They were huge Star Wars, Star Trek fans. He definitely had a bunch of, because GI Joe was out at the same, so I had a bunch of GI Joes. My cousin Ian had a bunch of Star Wars. He had like the the X fighter, or the X-wing, the TIE fighter, and he had the Millennium Falcon. And that, as a kid, I remember thinking how, because you could open at the top and you could put the figures in it, and it was like in essence its own diorama. And I thought that was really, really awesome. But yeah, so I didn't get down too much with the Star Trek, but I know a lot of people that did, and think that it's good for sure. Couple people hitting the famous "There Will Be Bloodline." I drink your milkshake. I drink it up, and that's at the end. Well, I don't want to spoil it for anybody if you haven't seen it at this point, but yeah, dude, it's very, very, very fucking awesome. Orsizio says, I like one-off anime like Akira or Ghost in the what? Ghost into something. Can't get into these long series. Yeah, I'm more of
Ghost in the Shell. Okay.
Ghost in the Shell. Okay.
Ghost in
Yeah,
the Shell. Yeah.
I myself am definitely a bit more. Let's start this. Let's finish this. I can't have season after season, of shit going on. I would prefer to get it over with. Like, like if a series comes out and everybody likes it and it's highly recommended, I'm gonna actually wait like a while before I start watching it. I can't do the week to week thing, and unless it's something amazing. Like the last thing that I think I saw when True Detective season 1 came out. I remember in the first 5 minutes of the show, I was like, "All right, I'm gonna have to come here every week for this because this is really good." I've always regarded that as like the best thing that's ever been on television broadcasting, so to speak. I feel like they were fucking pretty awesome. Did you see that the first season of True Detective? That shit was on like HBO. I don't think it's ever shown up anywhere else. But that if you ever get a chance to go check that out, brother, you definitely want to see it. It's amazing. Some of the best stuff ever on TV.
I got HBO Max. I got to do that then.
Oh, dude, listen to me very carefully. After the first episode, you're gonna message me and go, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
it is amazing." I know y'all in the chat can back me up on that. Yeah, that's it, dude. It is like I said. It's only now the other seasons don't have anything to do with the first season, so they're all individual things. I think they're supposed to exist in the same world, but not really. The very first one is so fucking good. Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson are the lead guys, and it's both. They both turn in the performance of a lifetime, without question. The Rust Cole is the name of Matthew McConaughey's character, and he is a brilliantly written character, and he plays it to the T. And to complement that showstopper of a character, they have the Woody Harrelson character, which is it is so good. I would even suggest as soon as we get off today, go over and watch that first episode, and I would love to know what you think because it is 100% worth it. Coming in the house is my brother Call Sign Smash. What's up, my dude? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, dude, it's one of the most quotable things I've ever seen. Like, just absolutely amazing with the quotes, the stuff that dude Russ Cole says, and furthermore, the actual story, like what is going on, what they're involved in, all that happens, bro. Woo, I don't think there's anything that I could possibly recommend more than that. Like, if somebody was like, "Oh, I've never seen anything ever. What's the first thing I should watch?" Maybe I wouldn't say that, but it would be within the first three things. I'd be like, well, if you truly want to appreciate cinema and how it's done best, then I would go with this. I would start here, and that would be that. So nice, very good, very good. And so yeah, now we kind of touched on it. Like, what do you have favorites? Like, did you have favorites when you were a kid of like, G.I. Joe 3 3/4 figures, or are there classifieds now that stand out to you that you really like?
Oh yeah, for both I have favorites. Okay, well,
Okay.
let's see. For the 3 3/4, growing up, I had, actual favorite figures. Obviously, Destro was one of them.
Right.
It's just the overall design with that metal head. There's something about that,
It's so awesome, iconic.
Yeah, it's iconic. Like, you can't get away from it.
Him and Cobra Commander are definitely iconic, without a doubt.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you know, they on Twitter, what's his face? He was Thano Kremlin. Yeah, well, he is a red one too.
Yeah, Thano Carnalis.
Yes, he's showing off his. He's got a blue and a red one. And the red one, I got the same figure. The one with the red hood.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I don't know.
Right.
That needed to be made. I don't know. I know Hasbro is like controversial, but I mean, they're the bad guys. Aren't the bad guys supposed to be bad? Like, isn't that
Right.
why shy away from that? What's wrong with having bad guys be bad? That's
I never understood it.
nope. I don't get that. Like, what are we teaching children by shying away from that?
Right.
We can't make our bad guys bad. Like, what? What on earth does that even teach someone?
It seems pretty wild. It'll give them a false sense of what a bad guy is, you know.
Yeah, like
And furthermore, it's just a hood that doesn't look like what they try to
oh, I
say
know,
that it
I
looks
know.
like. It's
I'm
crazy.
aware. I'm aware.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
even if it was, it's still bad guys being bad. Like, what's wrong with that?
Right.
Like,
Stop
I don't have a
watering down
problem.
the bad guys.
Yeah, I don't
stop
have a problem
watering
if the
them
yeah. I just don't have a problem if the bad guys are bad. Like, it just doesn't, bother me.
Orcizio says, "Is your Cobra Commander helmet striped centered?" So this is the hood. No stripe on there, but the one that came off of here, I actually broke it. So if you look, I broke my neck peg. I ripped the actual ball off the end, and this right now I just have sitting on there because it looks fine. So when I do a photo with it, I just do that. And I have to
Oh.
admit, the hood looks fantastic. Now, me personally, I always said that I kind of like the battle mask maybe a little bit better because to me, you can see his eyes, around there, and to me, it's not that I thought he was anything other than human. I just felt like this took away the element. Like, you know how in a scary movie, when they don't show you the monster, it's way scarier than actually showing you the monster because your brain fills it in with what's missing, right? And so this, like when this takes away that element, right? It's just like, oh, okay, he's a person. No more mystery. The battle mask, at least, he's got that voice and the mask looks like that. And you're like, it could be anything under there. So even though, like I said, I didn't really have something particular that I thought was going on, I just felt like it took it away.
Okay.
Let's see. Call sign smash. They're talking about something. I thought so. I noticed it. Just can't see it. Not going to live bothers me. Yeah, I think they're talking about how in the retro Cobra Commander there is that gray stripe in the back. Yeah, I don't know if that's Sumbo accurate or what goes on there. I didn't think that that's how that rolled. I thought for sure it was that was something that they added, but I honestly don't. I don't know. Yeah. So y'all in the chat, let me know if you. I'm pretty sure everybody's has it. I don't think it's a variant or anything like that. I think it just that is what it is. So yeah, nice. And so favorites. What sticks out to you, my brother?
Okay. How modern do you want to go? Like, because I mean, like from
Dude,
the classified line. Let's go back to
sure.
the beginning. Spirit is a phenomenal figure.
Yes.
Like stands up to today's, G.I. Joe's, no problem. Like it literally, I love that figure to death.
That's good call.
One of the first favorites in the line. In fact, when the line first started, I was almost not. I mean, the way the figures looked, they were like from this mobile game. They were literally the designs from a mobile game. I'm not even joking.
That's funny.
I mean, they had a G.I. Joe mobile game. Those were the design. If you were wondering where those weird designs were for that first wave of 4 figures, that is from a mobile game.
That
died
right?
Immediately. It died immediately.
Holy shit. That's funny. I didn't know that. I mean, I thought, like the Duke and the Scarlet had, that kind of a modern era look to them. And honestly, like in a vacuum, they're decent looking figures. But when you're like, yo, this is Duke, and you're like, well, why does Duke dress like he's from the future? This has to be Duke's son. You know what I mean? Like, this is Duke's son. And if they said that it was Conrad Hauser Jr., you'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense because he's dressed in 2030 battle armor, but he definitely does not. He looks like 1968 Duke. Just crazy on that.
It's
But
because
yeah,
it's from a mobile game. That's why. So
Uh,
it was all fancy fancy looking for the mobile game. So they made the figure to match it. I don't know why
right.
even like that. That was a weird choice because none of the other figures. They just started immediately because I think they realized how bad a choice that was immediately because they were already announcing the next wave of figures before those even released
Okay.
to get people
Okay.
excited because there were
Huh.
they wanted people to know that there wasn't going to be more of this.
Good. 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 No, I have
So
heard this referenced a few times that it appeared that Hasbro heard the call of the public when they were like, dude, this is hot garbage. This is not what we want. And then they got busy with it. It is, I mean, like, I don't mind that they're doing what they're doing with the retro line. Some of them are like inexplicable, like the Crimson Guard. Why it looks the same. There's almost no discernible differences. I don't know why they bothered trying to make that one different. Like I said, the Viper, the Bat, they were good. The Eel looks almost identical to the main line, and some people were like, "Oh well, they did that because the other one like sold out and you couldn't." And it was like, no, it didn't. To make it again, then why put it in a retro card and do the whole thing? Now, personally, I don't mind that they're doing that because I hopefully one day can have a display wall. And the retros are the ones that look like we did when we had them as a kid, right? They're the ones that have the packaging that's similar. And furthermore, the one thing that I really enjoyed about the whatchamacallit, oh God, the Jesus Christ, I can't remember now. The one thing that I liked, about this new wave that is showing up with the Techno Viper, the Grunt, and the Wild Bill, is that they had the retro card looked identical to the original one. Right. See, that's cool. That I can rock with that, But yeah, the one with whatchamacallit, the Techno Viper had such an amazing card art that it looked exactly like, it looked exactly like the one that they had for the 3 3/4. So I thought that was dope. So there you go. That's it. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, those are good figures, man. I tell you.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to get them. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I need them.
Right,
Even if
right,
I'm
right.
like, even if they end up being used in customization, I'm still going to, buy them.
You still gotta have them, brother. Still gotta have 'em. I mean, there's some that I'm trying to think. I think I got everything with the exception of I didn't get Blue Ninjas, and maybe there was something else. I feel like there was definitely like no, I'm sorry. I went back and I looked the other day because somebody was like, "Oh, which ones don't you have?" Because they were sending me a list for trades and stuff, and it was like I went and I looked and I was like, "Oh, actually, there's like 15 figures that I don't have," and that's fine. I'll get them eventually. I'm in no rush. I feel like a lot of the times, people they go and they'll buy stuff when maybe they don't have to. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes there's a rush with pre-orders and how some people are like, which was me included. Like I didn't know. I was always worried that I somehow was going to miss out on having something and then wind up never missing out on the thing. And even if I did, it was like you can always get it somewhere else. The one thing I will say this though, with the scarcity and how that works out is I had Breaker, Dial Tone, and Crystal Ball were the by far the most asked for figures whenever I was trying to make a trade, right? So for whatever reason, every single time that it would pop up that somebody wanted one of those figures, I traded. I didn't take advantage of the demand. I'd let people, just, oh, hey, this is what you want. Okay. And then a lot of times people would make their own offers. I'd be like, well, I do got this. What is it? What are you willing to part with? And people always came through with, it was like, oh, hey, this is a little hard to find. So maybe we get that going or whatever. But yeah, nope. Very good. Very good. The card art plays a lot. So were those ones there the ones you were just holding up? Are those favorites of yours, or is that just some?
Oh, those are just ones I had as examples you were talking about.
Oh yeah, okay,
classics,
okay.
So I just was like, there you go.
Oh, nice, yeah.
But if you're
so
wondering
they look good.
more favorites, though, I can tell you, I got. I know. What's it? Storm Shadow, the one where he's in all white, but the one without gloves.
Oh yes, yep.
The one without gloves, the barehanded one.
The barehanded one.
That is one of my favorite figures. I absolutely love that. I had that figure when I was a kid. It was one of the it was one of the classic figures, growing up.
Right. Nice. Okay.
So.
Yeah, he was
so
like an icon.
Yeah,
nice.
That's for both eras, of course. Then, I mean, obviously
sure.
Snake Eyes, but Snake Eyes is so common. That's everyone's.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tiger Force. I mean, I like a lot of the sub teams though. Like
I love the sub teams.
Yeah, like I like the sub teams. I wish they went deeper into them. Like with. Like it's both in the story and in the toilet, because they kind of they can go further, and I just
100%.
No,
so I like the idea. I heard somebody say that like Night Force is meant to counteract like Crystal Ball's army, right? So what goes bump in the Night Force is going to show up and handle all of that. So I thought that sounded cool. And then I kind of made
sense.
I liked the idea so much that I kind of went with my own sub team, and I call it Strike Team Fangbuster. And it's a bunch of people from Night Force that are going city to city and checking, going door to door. And then finding out different ways, to root out the Cobras, right? Like in my headcanon, everybody is like Cobra's hiding. They're hiding in your rural areas. Your neighbor may have a Cobra uniform. They're laying in wait. They've been told to lay in wait by Cobra Commander, and now here we are, all this time later after Cobra's last defeat. And shit like that. So yeah, I like the idea. Plus, I don't know if you saw the episode of the very first episode of the DIC cartoon. It was basically picked up where the movie left off. Cobra Commander was a snake. The Baroness binds him. She brings him to this machine that reverses him and brings him back to a walking. He's got like lizard skin still, but he's got legs and arms. And then Copperhead pulls out the Cobra Commander battle armor, and it shows that's how he got the battle armor. And then it shows how they make Python Patrol. So they held down a Python. They take the essence of the Python, like this, crazy machine, and then it puts it into the actual Python Patrol, which allows them to not be seen. They have the cloaking device and all of these other things. That I think that shit is really super cool. When I was a kid, I kind of thought Tiger Force was goofy, sort of. Like I liked it. I liked this idea of the sub team, and I did like the figures. But there was just something about like I don't know. I don't remember what it was that I was like, yeah, Night Force is cool. Python Patrol is awesome, but Tiger Force is sort of, I don't know, just something about it. Like I thought the Tiger Rat looked cool, which is the yellow Rattler. I was like, okay, that looks cool. But I didn't like the yellow Snowcat. I thought it was like an abomination. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I can understand that though.
Yeah,
like,
no, sub teams. That's a great choice. What is your favorite sub team out of the lot?
Well, Tiger Force.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's what's up.
So
yeah,
that is my favorite sub team. I just liked the designs when I was a kid. I'm not even sure why. They just something about them. Just I liked them. They they were always like front and center in my battles, you know.
Right, right. Oh, that's cool. I love it. I love it. I didn't see Night Force when it first came out. I think it was like like 2 years later. All of a sudden, a bunch of Night Force stuff showed up at my local Kmart, I think, and then they were on like immediate clearance, and I remember buying like all of them. Still to this day, I wish the only one I ever wish I didn't open was one of my grails is I really want the Night Force Shockwave Lightfoot 2-pack that it comes. Oh God, that I would love to have that, mint on card and have that for a display because I think that's the one. Yeah, you're not alone either, my brother. Our dude Roadblock is a big Tiger Force fan. That's his favorite. You see this big red banner behind me? So I have a couple of those. I have a Python Patrol one, I have a Night Force one, and then I have the Alley Viper one right here on the side. When I got the Python Patrol one, I ordered a Tiger Force one and sent it to my brother out there. So he's got that rocking, and it's just awesome. I'm glad you like that too, my dude. Orxizio says, I didn't know Night Force existed when I was younger until I got the first wave for Christmas. Yeah, man, listen, getting toys like that back then was crazy. The only thing that you knew was happening was the back of your card, right? Where it had all the pictures and stuff. I can't tell you how much time I spent just straight up staring at all that shit. Just like, oh God, I want this one, I want that one. I would get this one. Oh, look at how cool this one is. I wonder if he came with like, any kind of figures or whatever. So yeah, anybody else in the classified era that sticks out?
More in the classified era. Let's see. Oh, Raptor was a surprisingly good figure. I mean, the one from childhood had that like plastic. Yeah, that wasn't. This one. That thing was just awesome. Like, actually looked great. I mean, it's a funky gimmick, but it really works. Because. I mean, they did a really good job on that one.
Dude, I feel like the classified Raptor doesn't get talked about enough because, dude, that like how do you take a figure like that and make him cool? You give him that whole setup because it's awesome. Like, there's so much articulation in there. It moves all over the place. I got to bring it outside and get some pictures of it once the weather comes because. Dude, it is such a crazy because it makes it legit. Like, Homeboy has these wings. It looks like Raptor wings. It's going to fly. The only thing I wish they had did was something where like a bird of prey would swoop down and would have its legs to grab. So I wish he had some kind of thing on his legs that could like grab a figure. Like a claw grabber. Yeah. Right. Like, I think he had something for his hands, and I wish they just took that idea and made it like for the whatchamacallit.
That would make sense.
Real quick before I forget, I know you're trying to get through this list. I just wanted to shout out my brother Jeremy, who hosts that great Facebook group. It's called The Pit. I won another contest on there. They have these raffles, so I won 3 more Crimson Alley Vipers, which I couldn't be any more excited about. So this is all of them now after the 3 that Jeremy said. So that's my third contest I've won. The first one that I won was a bunch of Python Patrol, like a couple Vipers, a couple Troopers. I think it was like 2 Trouble Bubbles and something else. And then the second one that I won was a in the box Claw. Classified Claw and a in the box Valkyries, and I wound up trading them both and getting I got a bunch of really cool shit. I think altogether between trading the 2, I got 2 separate packages of the Steel Core Sentry Twilight Guards. I got a Range Viper and another really awesome figure, the Range Viper. Oh, and a Wolf Spider, which is like arguably my favorite one altogether. I think that fucker is so awesome. So yeah, Night Force would definitely be my favorite sub team. I'd have to go with for sure. But I'm sorry, brother. I interrupted you again. What else you got?
No, it's okay. I also I'm a big Doctor Mindbender fan. Uh, love his work. You know, very fun. So that's one of the standout figures.
I mean, how polarizing is that guy? Just the way he looks. The whole idea. That's one of the reasons what really turned me off about Cobra La was I felt like the what happened in Cobra La like diminished.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened. We lost him for a sec. Oh, nice. Yeah, let me see here.
Well, you're back for me.
Yeah, here we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Oh, all right.
Well,
Let me say, yeah, okay. No biggie. Yeah, it looks like we're good. What's up, Bearded Sumo in the house? What's up, my dude? How are you? Welcome back in. Um, yeah, I wonder what the hell that was. I just tried to see connection looks good, everything looks good.
sometimes
Probably
it
just in that.
happens.
Yeah,
You
well, it was both of us at the same time, so I'm assuming it's that some kind of a network issue. But yeah, all right, we appear to be good. That's what's up. Nice. Well, so yes, but let me not interrupt you again. Please
It's
feel
all
free to
good.
continue with your favorites.
It's all good. Oh, one that I think is underrated, Lifeline.
Yes.
I
Oh, I
I
agree.
always needed, Lifeline and what's the other medic? Oh, I forget his name now.
Doc?
Yes, both
Yeah,
of
he's
them.
awesome too.
Medics. Medics are underrated. Always need medics on the battlefield. People are always getting shot. I mean, when I was playing, like people were always getting shot. So we had to have medics to heal them. You
Right,
know.
right. Yeah, you needed dudes like Doc because Doc is the one that came up with the whatchamacallit. In what is it? Not the mass device. Is it the mass device where Doc? Yeah, Doc comes up with the mirrored whatchamacallit that reflects the laser back, or is that Pyramid of Darkness? That might be Pyramid. I honestly am confusing the shit out of that. You know what I'm talking about? So Doc makes these like crystal looking mirrors
Hmm.
and they have to roll them into place in front of Washington. And that way it absorbs like that laser stuff and then shoots it back. Yeah, that shit was wild. Doc got his 2 seconds of fame when he delivered that awesome line where he was like, they were like, Doc, are you okay over there doing that? And he was like, don't worry, I've got my asbestos underwear on. I love it. I'll never forget that. That was so awesome.
But yeah,
Nuts.
those two been. I feel medics are always underrated. So those two have been some of my favorite characters since I was a kid. So obviously them. Shipwreck's another one I really like. Um,
Nice.
I mean, I just the old Navy design. Like if you buy a bunch of shipwrecks and you put a bunch of different heads on them, you got like a Navy crew.
Right. Oh, yeah. There you go. I mean,
And
yeah,
I like the classic Navy design like that, like the very old school, even for the '80s.
for sure. For sure. I mean, I think that's something that we're missing terribly, right? It would be like the one thing that I would love to have in classified would be that version of shipwreck where he's in like that black tactical sweater with maybe some kind of a little bit of webbing, that black beanie on. Do you know what I'm talking about? How cool
The
would
more,
that be?
yeah, that's the more modern sailor version. Like I like
And
that
then
one too.
I thought too, isn't there one what is it? The I think it's version 14 where he's in a legit wetsuit, right? He's got all the rebreather gear on. He's got the black hood thing, like the whole thing. Does that make sense? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's version 14. So they have them both. They've got that one and the whatchamacallit. Yeah, they have the like the one where he's in full wetsuit gear, and then the other one where he looks a little more like that. So nice. So I mean, listen, everybody's got to have a place in their heart for Shipwreck. Like maybe if you only grew up on the comic book, it maybe not the same, but Shipwreck was like one of the most polarizing characters in the Sunbow cartoon. I thought just almost impossible not to love him.
Yeah, no, I mean he was one of those people that he just wormed your way into his heart, into your heart.
Definitely, definitely, because you didn't really understand sexual harassment back then, right? And it
No.
was you were just like, and how many times we talk about this with Mark from Destro is My Spirit Animal on Monday. How many times did like they do a cut scene and it's like somebody talking to like Flint and they're like, yeah, you guys are fine, but you got to get that guy out of here, and they're just like pointing at Shipwreck and shit like that. Nice, nice. So did you do the comics growing up?
Yeah, no. Some of them. I've read a lot more as an adult, to be fair, than as a child. Because I was more into like superhero comics at the time when I was
Oh,
a kid.
okay.
I mean, it was just what I was into. I still have I mean, I have a bunch of like Marvel and DC figures and stuff. I mean, I've seen all the Marvel movies. I've seen all the DC movies. They're not all good, but
Right.
it's. But I enjoy them. I still like. I know that a lot of people do not enjoy all of the movies, but there's only one so far that I really did not enjoy in Marvel, and that's the Eternals. That one wasn't very good.
Yeah,
Like,
unfortunately, I haven't ventured too much into comics to know all about that, but I can say that I do know enough about it to like. So that's the movie. Like I don't even remember anybody really talking about it, and people that actually did see it were kind of like, yeah, not that good.
Yeah, no, it really isn't. And the figures have been at my local Ollie's since the day it opened like 3 years ago. Just on sale, discount. No one wants them. They cannot move them. They're down
Right.
to like $2 a piece. No one wants them.
But that's just such a shame. It does always grab your attention when you see something like that happening, and you're like, how did they miss that? Like, how do you drop the ball on something? You know what I mean? Like
Eternals was
what?
a very odd choice to begin with for the MCU. I mean, it really, really was an odd choice. It didn't fit anything else they had done up until that point.
Right.
And then it just had a story that was they tried to weave in, and then after it, well, that's just never going to be mentioned again. I guess that never happened. So they're just pretending that's never happened. I guess.
Right. Right.
That's where we
Well,
are.
I think because that's the movie where wasn't one of them trying to come out of the earth, and there's like an arm and something, and then it's supposed to still be there, but nobody talks about it. Like that's just fucking what? That's just crazy. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that Superman movie, Man of Steel. I thought that one was really good.
Oh yeah.
What was the one with Lex Luthor? Jamie Eisenberg played Lex Luthor. That's not. Is that what's the name too? Who? Yeah. That. Oh
I
no.
think
That's
so.
That's Henry. That's Henry Cavill. But
Henry
that's
Cavill, but yeah.
yeah. Oh wait. But that's Superman Batman. I think. Right? Isn't that one?
I think so, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
the one where he
Oh,
makes that senator drink pee.
I think so. Yeah. Because yes, that's right. So it is after Man of Steel because his Genesis Chamber ship crashes, and that's when Jamie Eisenberg shows up as Lex Luthor, and he wants to get in there to get the technology from it and all the other stuff. Okay, now I see what we're saying. Yeah, I don't know. I love that one. To me, that is that is the arguably the best comic book movie I've ever seen. I thought Man of Steel. That being said, just because of how I felt like it had the serious tones for like adults, but also was miraculous in a way for kids too. I feel like that beginning scene with Russell Crowe and showing how all that happened and how like dichotomous of a person Zod was, where like, he knew El was smart and respected him for his smarts, but just their politics were so completely different. You know what I mean? And like, but yet they had that middle ground. Like he says in his speech, he was like, we agreed on very little, pretty much only that Krypton was dying, right? And and when he's getting sentenced, at the end of that scene, like they wrap up a lot in a very short amount of time. They tell you a whole story, like bing, 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 in a good way. And so when he's getting sentenced, he's like, Jor-El was right. You're all a pack of fools. Like there was just so many things like that I thought were just really fucking awesome. Now, obviously, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Returns. Those are perfect cinema, right? There's no notes there. The Batman Begins is such a good prequel, and then I think The Dark Knight. I know a lot of people took umbrage. You either really loved Heath Ledger's Joker or you didn't like it really at all. There's rarely middle ground there. Usually most people are one or the other. But anyway, I think it's an amazing take on the Joker. I felt like at that point, I remember describing it because people were like, "Oh, I don't want to go see that. It's Batman," and I would say things like, "I'd be like, oh well, it's really like imagine if the crime drama Heat had a dude in a cape." You know what I mean? It's like that level of a film where just like two of the guys happen to have, one guy's got makeup on, the other guy's wearing a fucking a Batman mask. But it's like high drama. He's tracking the mob. The mob hires this crazy guy. They didn't understand what they were getting. They let him out of the cage, and then it goes nuts. And I mean, dude, seriously, like I do think that although aesthetically, how he had like the makeup was kind of off, and it because the Joker always looked like fresh and tight looking, right? It wasn't all fucked up. He was the clown prince of darkness, and he looked like a prince, just a crazy one, So I did take a little bit of umbrage with how messy it looked, but man, he was scary. It was crazy enough the first time he grabs the guy and is like, "Do you want to know how I got these scars?" I was like, "Okay, that's cool." But then when he did it again and told a different story, I thought that was like the true sign of an absolute lunatic. And that's when I went, "Oh, okay, he is fucking crazy." And this is how this works. So
I call him Asylum Joker.
Yeah,
I call him Asylum Joker. And
Asylum Joker. Okay.
Yeah, because he's the crazy Joker. He's not the clown prince of crime. He's the Asylum Joker. He's the one. The makeup smeared. It's not perfect. He looks like he's not all there mentally, but he's 10 steps ahead every step of the way. Like his crazy. It just works. Have you ever met someone whose crazy works like for them?
Yes.
Like it gets them. Yeah, like it works for him. And that's why the movie worked so well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think anybody that's is like involved in Hollywood in any way would say that, oh, that's all of them. You know what I mean? That's all of those people for sure. No, that was so I always kind of like I felt like I don't think those movies came out that far apart between the Superman and the Batman, but no, that was I would have to say, I don't know. I would call it a tie, Oh, and another thing to be mentioned about the Batman movies was that, after Heath Ledger passed, right? And I think they did have him planned to be in the third one too. But so I was like, oh man, that kind of sucks because, without him, they're not going to get somebody else to do it, right? Like what's going to happen. And And are they even going to make this other one? And dude, I can't believe that they somehow came back over the top still, right? Like I felt like, you know, what they did perfect in The Dark Knight Returns is the beginning, because people like me, for me, I was walking into it going, I hope it's just okay. They're not going to have, it's not like the Joker's not going to be in it, which is one of my favorite parts about the previous movie. So how is this going to be good? And then right off the rip, they do that unbelievable plane hijacking scene, right? And it was like, it was just awesome. And it never stopped. Like that movie went on. I felt like that was a 3-hour movie that just like wouldn't quit. You know what I mean? And it was good. So yeah, unfortunately, like, as much as I know Marvel is king, when it comes to, who's got the better characters and everything like that. But I would honestly have to give the top billings of comic book movies. I think the Dark Knight series and that Man of Steel movie are better than like Age of Ultron and all of those other movies. Like those are all fantastic. Don't get me wrong. The very first Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War. Infinity War is probably the best one. Endgame, I've gone back and watched it recently, and I don't know why, but it's just the story doesn't work. I don't know what it is. It's like so full of shit that doesn't work in the same way that Infinity War did. Infinity War is crazy. Infinity War starts out with a Thanos Hulk fight, and it just continues to like skyrocket. The fight where the Maul and the Maw and the other guy, they fight right in the middle of downtown Manhattan with all that. That was crazy. That was really good. But I still don't get the feel like when you're watching that Batman or that Superman, you're like, oh, this is what it would be like if, like Bruce Wayne just has a lot of money. Superman is just one cosmic entity who, draws his power from the sun and like all this other shit. And so it all seemed like it made a little bit more sense. But yeah. How about you, my brother, when it comes to say comic book movies? How are you rolling?
Well, I mean, for me, the classic Christopher Reeve Superman is probably going to be like number one. That's what I grew up with.
Okay.
I watched the hell out of those movies growing up. All
Definitely,
the time.
definitely.
Like those were great movies. And then obviously the Batman movies that came out back then, they were now. I will admit the Batman movies that came out more recently, are much better.
Sure.
I have no problem saying that. Those are peak comic book movies for
Definitely.
Batman.
Definitely.
But
Michael Keaton was magical.
Yeah, when that first came out, that was incredible, and I was
100%.
super excited. In fact, our local Six Flags had a Batman stunt show, and we were one of the first parks, or no, we were the first park to get Batman the Ride.
Okay.
So it was great.
That's what's up.
They had a lot of theming on it that time. They actually made it look good and stuff, and they took most of that away.
I haven't been to one of those down there in a while, but
oh no, this was 20 years ago still, or 25 years ago. Sorry. Okay. I have not been to a Six Flags in a long time. So
that's what's up. So you know what, Dave? It is we are just a little bit past 10. I'm really starting to feel it in my voice. I just wanted to show you a couple things and show them off to the crew really quick. As everybody knows, last week, last week? I had Laser Pants on Friday, Laser Pants from the 3POA podcast, and we debuted the newest addition to the arsenal over at Mo's Mind, and that was we launched his new whole subline mags, and that's Mo's Armament and Gear Systems. And it has, here's a new, I got Tunnel Rat all geared up with his green sling.
Oh, those.
This is the sling. All right. I also had it here, like in the picture that I took. We've got, if you see there, the Trench Viper's got his Taver, all nice. And these were there was a huge hole in the community for these kind of things. Now, let me try to see if I can point that out a little more. So there, as you see, I have this one set up in a 2-point. So it's coming around this part and then back here, and that's allowing it to kind of help him hold it up while he's got his flashlight in hand, right? And listen, these things aren't here. I'm going to hold up the brown one. So these here are super quality, and I love them. So right there, that's 2 out of the 3 tri-glides. There's 3 tri-glides on it all together, and they just look incredible. So the trick is that they're going to come ready for 2-point harness, but you just got to like loop one, loop through the other, and then because of the 3 separate tri-glides, you're able to go like this, and then pull. Oops, if I get the thing, I can't see damn things. I don't have my glasses on. So there we go. See how I looped that together like that? And now you've got an over the shoulder tri-glide, and then this end right here connects onto the butt of the rifle, and gives you just a perfect look. So that's how I have it, the 3-way on this one. That's how that is. And it just holds it in the right spot while he's got his grenade launcher. But yeah, I absolutely love it. Now there's going to be a whole bunch more stuff to come from the Mags line, but we're going to wait to. He's going to have more stuff to show us, to talk about coming up soon. Also, don't forget, Matt still is crushing it with the vehicles, such as this big boy here, the Atlas. You've all seen that. He's got the wonderful play sets like this right here. This is the R Cannon with its standalone stand. Sounds weird. But I've always said this, the best bang for your buck on the internet, this is the Outpost. This is just the coolest damn thing. Now, I've got a replacement Mod Deuce coming, but all of Matt's stuff, wherever we have something like this, it is Gridiron compatible. So look at how dope that looks. We got a ladder. I love putting sandbags all around the edge and putting like a sniper up here so the sniper can look out deep and just look at the levels of detail on everything. Turn it around. Whoop. We've got backpacks, backpack holder, little shelving right here. Here's the actual where the belt fed comes from, and that will go into the 50. And he also has to go with the Outpost. He has the bar. Let me see if I can get this out of here. So they all connect. They're all compatible. Here we go. Here's the bar. So as you can see, you can move this any way you want. The playability is unmatched, like legitimately. And so I could take this end off and attach it to the Outpost, and it would be like the Outpost here. This kind of flows where you want it. And I could put this all the way on the end, or something crazy like take these 2 panels off, put the Outpost right next to this, then put these panels on the other side of the Outpost than this. I did Danger at the Gates, and it involved all of these, but what it didn't do is it didn't show all of them connected. So I definitely want to get that going and get that shown off. So that's what's up. Matt is such a great guy. I couldn't be happier. Now I've been working on another shot I want to get out this weekend that shows these slings a little bit better, and like I said, maybe show that off, because now I've got this Dragonfly from my brother Dan Salcedo that I need to make a Joe base, and that I can see all these vehicles, because I now have, along with the mountain cannon and the armadillo that my brother CG Horror gave me. It's time for me to make that massive GI Joe base, right? To put it all together and make that base. So head on over to my brother Matt's Etsy and check out everything he has going on, the new latest from the Mags line, and then all the other wonderful stuff he has. When you get over there, use Destro Designs 10. That's going to give you 10% off your purchase, and that's it. I mean, he's now working on basically, he's going to have everything price range from one end to the other. It's going to be fantastic. Now, also, I did want to show off again, because my brother, what would I do with the other one? My brother Chris from Sister the Arsenal sent me a few things, and honestly, right now, oh, there it is. So his latest, he's been pumping out stuff that's just ridiculous. So I got This is a rough case laptop for the field use. Just look at how dope that is. You got a wonderful looking detailed screen. This just is, looks, it's a field laptop. So it's supposed to look basically rugged and durable. What I like about this too is if you flip that up, it actually locks it. Look at that. Locks. That's crazy. And it's on its own hinge. Now, of course, I had to get a Cobra one, right? To go with the Hiss Squad. Boom. Very similar. Slight difference in the keyboard, which I love. Just, a little bit different. Really, really cool. But what came in this order that was just for your boy is a 788 case. I love this thing. You all know I love that 788. So basically what's going to happen is hopefully this weekend, I'm going to take, this case is going to be empty. So Major Blood is going to roll up to having Destro show him, here's all the coordinates and everything you need to know about the mission. And here's the case that you're putting the chemicals in. And, by the way, I got you, where is it? By the way, I got you a whole new outfit. And then he's going to get dressed up in the 788. So this is the Major Blood mission crate, which is just awesome. There's the helmet, all the rest.
Wow.
Oh, dude, this thing is no joke. I love this thing. Chris makes amazing shit. And so I got a whole series of shots coming, but I can't stress everyone enough how freaking excited I was when I opened it up and saw this coming. Matt is actually, as soon as I can send him this little bit of picture, he's going to be sending me a 788 thing as well. That's going to kind of play into all the stuff that I have going on here, and I think it's really going to be awesome. But I was so fucking excited when I opened this up and saw it. I was like, what? Holy shit. So, yep, makes me feel special, for sure. And big appreciation, Chris. And same to Matt for sending me those slings. I actually am going to go place an order in for a couple more because I'm going to go a little nuts and put them everywhere. So, and just remember, Chris has an insane amount of stuff. The wonderful locker setup that I have. I got this, so now we can work on the Dragonfly, the Vamp, and the Awe Striker. I'm actually going to put some of the slings when I get the Joe Brown or the Joe Green sling. I'm going to put it in here.
Do all the drawers open?
All the drawers open, brother.
Holy crap!
No, dude, this is no joke.
That is awesome.
So yeah, they all. Oh, and this opens at the top, like a regular mechanic set. You can buy one or the other. But I get the set. Yeah, they all open, brother. These are freaking awesome. Like 100% awesome.
As hell. That's impressive as hell, man. Seriously.
Dude, these guys. That's why you hear me talking about both these guys every week, because it's just incredible. So you can get Chris. Again, Chris has so much stuff. Go over, check it out. sys3darsenal.com. sys3darsenal.com. Make sure you use Destro Designs to give you 10% off. If you're on Etsy and have the Etsy premium with free shipping, you can still find Chris's stuff over there. Take advantage of the free shipping. Destro Designs will work over there as well. So, and then just to move the portion along, I think I mentioned this last week, but my brother Chaz from GI Customs also makes amazing stuff. He sent me this wonderful sign to go as a companion to this right here. So I'm very excited about that. And I also recently got some stuff. Again, I usually buy my vehicles from Matt and Matt only, but a gentleman offered me a really ridiculous price on this bomb disposal unit that I could not say no to. So this is going to carry my Rattler. So this actually comes off, and the front wheel of the Rattler is going to go right on here, and this is going to taxi the Rattler across the runway as the Baroness comes click, click, clicking those heels across the tarmac. Shout out to Spec Op Toys for making that for me. I thought that was pretty cool. Also, Murphy's Innovative. If you guys have seen it, he's had some coasters and some water jugs pop up. So I've got jerry cans, right? The Atlas comes with 2. I actually got 2. I got 2 more here from Sys 3D Arsenal that are great. But these are water cans that my dude made. They're a little bit smaller, right? I got a bunch of them here, but these are great detail. Looks a lot like your average water can. So I got those. And as a wonderful bonus, my dude sent me this really nice. I guess this was part of something for a Serpentor, and something happened and he didn't wind up sending it. So I've got a 1 of 1 on this coaster here. So
Nice.
that makes me happy. I love it when dudes send me stuff like that. So that's going to do it for the advertisement portion of the show. Now, when I say advertisement, these gentlemen they're not paying me to do this. I do it because I absolutely love their products. I love putting good products into the hands of the people, and that's why I do it. Also, it looks like my brother Ellis has showed up. So Dreadnought E is my brother Ellis. Ellis sent me this. I showed it off 2 times, but I was going to do it again as soon as he came in. This absolutely amazing Pledge Your Allegiance. Love it. Love it. I love that face. I love all of it. It's so cool, for sure. So yeah, make sure you're supporting, the good makers who support the community. And that is, Matt from Mo's Mind over on Etsy, Destro Designs 10 to get you 10% off, sis3darsenal.com. That is Chris. He awesome. Another great guy, an amazing printer. And Destro Designs will get you 10% off on that one. I don't have codes for the other guys, but definitely check out GI Customs and my dude Murphy's Innovative for sure. And that's what's up. So yeah, I'm definitely going to order some more of these slings. I want to deck a couple guys out, and like I touched on it real quick. Matt is going to make me well, I won't say what it is because I want to show it up. It'll show up in one of my shoots coming up, but it is 788. I was going to say inspired. It's not inspired. It is something for the 788. Like it's going to have 788 on it. So love it. And so my brother, what do you have any like purchases in the future that you're eyeballing? Is there something that's like out there you just haven't picked it up yet?
Ooh, in the GI Joe line, or are we talking anything?
Oh, I mean anything. GI Joe for sure, but if there's something else that sticks out in your mind.
I pre-ordered everything GI Joe available, so I'm not sure there is anything else for me to pick up at the moment.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's see. Regarding anything else, like I said, those robots I want to build, things like that.
Right.
That one project with you that is supposed to be like it's going to be the cabin of essentially an airship.
Okay.
But
that's cool.
It's more of a makeshift thing that they're going to use to get around, because the world they live in is going to be very messed up, and the biggest thing is going to be like gladiatorial tournaments that people have to participate in to essentially survive. And so I'm basically going to be running PvP sessions using D&D rules, using action figures, and photographing the results, and that's what I'm, and I'm going to be making a story out of it.
Nice.
And putting that up. So I don't know if I'm going to do it comic book format, because I could kind of do that, put them on pages and do that, and there's going to be dialogue and. I found these. I have to buy them, but I'm looking for specifically like where like in comic books where it's like bang, pow, zap, things like that.
Right.
Well, they have little like the ones on stands that you can put like so when you take a picture, it could have like a pun, and it would have that. And I want little things like that because I don't need it to be super realistic. I want it to be more fun.
Right. Nice.
But there's going to be actual dioramas I have to build. So, like different scenes. Plus, I can use outdoors. I have, a very decent sized yard to play with. So why not?
Yeah, you can't replace the lighting that sun gives, right? That sunlight is just really where it's at. I mean, sometimes, depending on how you're set up for it, having an outside diffuser, and things that definitely can kind of help. But no, the outside is undefeated for them. So there is a small running creek right close to my house, and then it actually ends up even further down in the woods, closer to where my kid's school is. But there's a path that goes back there. And one of these days, I'm going to be taking a few figures over there and getting busy in it, because with the one spot I looked at, it's got a nice little tier down that I think I can do some stuff on. I was actually considering building like a dock and taking it over to make it look like a dock, like in the river, right? That somebody would dock to. And I feel like if I do it the way that I want, I should be able to just, because the pier ends, I'll just be able to stake it right in and just leave it like that, and then set up a figure or two, and that's that. I got my big muck boots, so I should be able to stand in the water to be able to get the shot. I think that's what's going to really deliver it. So I've been talking about that for a while, and yeah, for sure.
That's impressive. No, that's impressive.
It's hopefully it works out the way that I wanted to, and I am going to carefully select what I bring over, because if I drop something in there, it might go, because it's moving. It's not at all. It's a creek, period. It's like maybe 8 or 9 feet wide at that one spot, but I don't think it goes any deeper than this. But that fucking water is moving, like, for sure. Crazy. So it was funny. Matt from Mosmine has a good comment here. When I asked if there was anything coming up that you wanted to get, Matt says, from the look in his eye, a sister in the Arsenal tool chest. That's funny.
Okay, yeah. True. Actually, that is something I want to get.
Listen,
that tool chest, it looked really good, and I have some uses for it. I think I could incorporate it well. I also have some miniature tools, like 1/12 scale tools. So why not?
Yeah, nope. That'll fit absolutely perfect. It is, and I assure you that anything you get from either of those gentlemen, or any of the 4 that I mentioned, actually is all top quality. But Matt from Mosmine and Chris from Sister Arsenal make the most elite shit, and they are the best guys. So I love supporting them, and then telling other people to support them as well. So very good. And Jed, just remember, brother, use that promo code Destro Designs. That'll get you 10% off if you wind up buying that chest. So very good. Nice. Well, listen, my dude, do you have anything that you would like to promote?
Oh, I mean, not really. I am going to I'm going to send you some stuff to give away.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right.
So
yes, yeah, okay.
It's not. Is it okay if it's not all GI Joe, or is it
No.
Is that because I have some non GI Joe stuff to give away also? But
absolutely.
There is some GI Joe in there too. So
okay. Oh, listen, the community. I think free is good for anybody. But I know that there is oftentimes, as we talk about, photographs and getting different lines of stuff to help with classified photo shoots, because like I have a bunch of Indiana Jones and other figures that from other lines that I've been putting in the backgrounds for like civilians, and you gotta have it, you know what I mean? 100%.
True. Very true.
Very good. So on what is your @ on Instagram?
What my Instagram should be @ ToyboxDave.
Oh, it is that too. Okay. Gotcha.
I believe
all right,
so.
Very good.
I'm gonna check it right now, because I'm not 100% sure.
No, that's okay.
I do not often do Instagram, but I definitely have one, and I put pictures up, but most of them are kind of old at this point. I have to start.
That's all
more.
good.
Wait, where's my profile? Here we go. Yep, it is Toybox Dave.
Nice.
Right there. I have 10,800 followers on there.
Nice. That's
no idea why.
No,
actually, I know why. Someone set up one of those bots to give people fake followers, and I don't know why they included my name, but they did. And at one point, it was over 15K, but Instagram, does their bot cleaning every so often, so it's down to 10.8K. Actual real follower, maybe like 1,000 of them are real. Like I'm not, I'm not that big or anything.
Right.
Having 10,000 followers on Instagram is not a big thing, but I mean, it's bigger than me.
That's what's up. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I had a lot of people following me on Instagram for putting up tool review videos, my progress videos. That's what Destro Designs originally was. So that is the business name. And then I got into this one project that was so big that I completely had to stop setting up the camera and taking videos because I didn't have time. I was under such a crunch. And then I got so far away from it that I ultimately took a complete break from social media for years, like 2.5 years. And then I started posting some stuff again. No, it wasn't that long. I'm sorry. Yeah, I felt like I stopped posting that. And then I was doing like smaller videos of just like here and there of working in the shop. And then I took a good, God, it was definitely at least like a good year and a half where the only thing I was doing was I had a Twitter account for fantasy football and just to keep up with like beat reporters and shit. And because your phone is spying on you, as I got into the toy photography, it started showing me stuff. And that's how I originally met a lot of the members of the community on. I had a completely different account. I had a Marion Cobretti is the account, which is the Stallone's character in the movie Cobra. If you remember that, he was Marion Cobretti was his name. So that is my other account. And then I opened up the Destro Designs and got everything popping over here. And then when I realized that I needed to expand Destro Designs to all the different the social media sites, I just pushed all the contracting videos out slowly but surely as I fill it with podcasting, toy photography, and community content. So very good. So yes, make sure you're checking out Dave at Toybox Dave on Instagram and Twitter. Now, did you say Facebook? I thought.
I have a Facebook. I believe I just use my real name on Facebook.
Oh, okay. I know. I've seen that a few times.
My real name is David Rebecki. So.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So
it's
yeah,
there.
make sure.
But I believe I am part of that one, the Pit community.
Oh, very good. Good community. Jeremy runs a good show over there. And he's one of the first people I started talking to on Twitter. Him, CG Horror, Pop Cult Frenzy, Conrad, Big Red. God, I don't want to not say Roadblock. Got to feel bad because I'm sure I'm going to forget somebody that was there. Oh, Country Gentleman. He was on a lot. Commander Unicron was one of the first people I talked to. Good stuff. But yeah, so I am Destro Designs and Viper Den Studios. You can find both of my accounts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I finally got the TikTok set up. I'm slowly putting stuff over there. YouTube is Destro Designs. That is Saturday night is the main event live from Viper Den Studios, usually Saturday night at 8 o'clock. I've been blessed with amazing guests lately, right? I'm so glad that you came in. Last week we had Laser Pants on Friday, and then oh my God, who do we have on Saturday? Oh my God. Yojo Collectibles. So from Instagram and Facebook, Yojo Collectibles, amazing photographer. He was a great guest. We went through his GI journey and everything. It was fantastic. Tomorrow night coming, we have Sneaky Figures from over on Instagram. Great guy, great photographer. He was on the Figure Fight Club main event for Friday, and I saw him there. He just seemed like it would be a great guest. So we have him coming tomorrow night, and then next Sunday, so next week, the 17th, I have the Action Shop Master Mate Mylar coming in for us to talk about his GI journey and some more toy photography. So a lot of toy photography talk, starting with Yojo Collectibles last week, into Sneaky Figures tomorrow, and then all the way down the line to next week with the master himself. Now all I really need is Matt Cohen from Shooting the Galaxy to come in, and I will complete some kind of toy photography infinity gauntlet for the podcasting interviews. But no, Mate is my favorite, like without question. His practical effects are truly second to none. And I try not to be too overwhelmingly complimentary because I find that I'm constantly calling him like the action shot god, the action shot master. It's like I don't want to be too much, like I don't want to deify him, but as far as I'm concerned, if you ever see those practical effects, man, there's nobody else that's making shit like that. They're just too sweet. And he's also obviously a very good photographer, not just a great maker. So but that is the live from Viper Den Studios on Saturday. On Mondays, you can find me on Destro as my spirit animal. That goes off at 9:00. Again, my brother Mark is so unbelievably gracious having me on all the time. And stay tuned. Stay tuned over there for potentially more things coming soon. Tuesdays, I try to stop by the Figure Fight Club open mic night. All full disclosure, I have not been there in like a month. Way too busy. When I do this show Saturday and then I do Dimza on Monday, it's a crapshoot if I have it in me to go on Tuesday. But I do like dropping in because it's a very cool show, and I can usually just kind of be like, oh hey guys, can I show you my stuff? And I got to get out of here. But anyway, they've been awesome. Rock Lockdown in the house, brother. You just jumped in as I'm starting to say goodbye, but I appreciate you coming through, my dude. So yep, that is on Tuesday when I can get over there. Another Wednesday, I know I reached out to Jay Antonio to maybe try to do another power hour, but our brother had lost his voice doing some karaoke, so God bless. We'll see what happens there. Tuesdays and Fridays, I am dropping articles for our Serpentor's Lair. The last one that I wrote that dropped this morning was I wrote 2 introductory articles to me talking about the G.I. Joe releases in 1986. A lot happened in 1986. I was growing into a fine young man. I had a little camera. I was literally at like 7, almost 8 years old, doing photojournalism, driving around, taking pictures of things. I touch on that in the article, as well as just a few more things that were going on in my life to kind of set up how I was viewing everything through the lens of these figures, and why in 1986, like I went from being obsessed to like something otherworldly about I think the last article I wrote was not the one today, but the one before. It was, 1986 G.I. and G.I. Joe releases is my event horizon on my youth, meaning like I crossed over that plane and I never fucking came back. That was it. When those releases came out that year, and I was on it, and I always attribute my mind opening to having a expansive imagination, because I had these toys and my mind just invented an entire world with them. I've always accredited that. And, as much as I want to say that, all the acid in my 19s and 20s is what did it, but I'm pretty sure that, it probably had something to do with it, but I really can remember thinking about G.I. Joe and noticing even as a kid that I don't think about other things the way I think about G.I. Joe. And since I've gotten these G.I. Joes, I haven't been thinking about anything else the same either. So I'm really going to town on 1986. So and make sure you check out serpentorslair.com. It's a cool ass website. There's a lot of good stuff on there. Other very good writers, Yorktown Joe, and I believe it's a young lady, Vera, but Yorktown Joe writes some very good stuff. It's awesome. So definitely go over and check that out. Rock Lockdown, brother. I'm sorry. We are headed out. I'm doing a back-to-back, so I got another one tomorrow. My voice is starting to go, and I think my kids are still awake. I told them I would be off early enough to go up and hang out with them before bedtime. So we'll see what happens. They didn't. I thought at like 10 that they were going to come back down and be like, "Where are you?" So we'll see what happens. Farage 1-1. That's what I did with my youth when I was a little younger. Faraj, how did you find us? I always appreciate finding out how people wind up in front of me. It's a surprising amount of people say that they find it in their YouTube. It just pops up in front of their thing. Not even Joe community members, like other people that just come in and they're like, "Oh hey, yeah, I'm new. I'm just watching," and they say that it popped up. So thanks, YouTube. Keep pushing my shit. I appreciate it. Stick me in that algorithm, for sure.
I need to start streaming again.
Hey man, listen, all you got to do is let me know when you're getting ready to do something. I will be sure to help promote it and put the word out there I mean, I feel like, oh, Dim's, yes, brother. I'm sorry. I've seen you there before. That's correct. Thank you. Yes, that now I know exactly. I actually know what you're talking about. Thank you so much. Um, oh, there we go. Oh, nice. Awesome. So, I mean, yeah, brother, listen, I'd love to
Sorry, I
have you
clicked
on
something.
again. Oh, nice, nice. It looked like you were sharing a screen, perhaps. I think that's what it was. Um,
No, it's a different scene in OBS. That was the starting screen for when I stream.
oh,
It looks
nice.
like a TV with the static and everything. And when
Oh,
people
okay,
chat,
okay.
their words appear on the TV.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Well, listen, dude, I know you had offered some help with maybe trying to get this old one to work here. I know CG Horror, who we always regard as our resident mainframe, gave me a handful of the ones. I'm actually just to the point where I wonder if I should just completely uninstall Windows 11 and just put like something else basic in there because I don't need fucking Windows 11. I just need a basic operating system. So because like the camera works, everything is fine. I just need to be able to get to my options to give the camera permission to turn on. Otherwise, I would have all of this on the fucking laptop, easy breezy. I literally just need to be able to turn the permissions on, and I don't know how else to do it. It sucks because, like I said, it's a fucking great laptop, and it's almost a travesty to have to go out and buy a $300 one and use a substandard one just simply because the fucking thing won't open. But again, at least I have it down to simple answer. No, don't do that.
I mean, I can give it a shot. Like whatever whenever you just contact me and I'll be willing to help.
For sure, for sure. Well, listen, brother. We will definitely set something up. I would love to be the conduit to give some stuff away. And all you got to do is let me know more on that, and I'll shoot you an address. Did I give you my address? I probably did.
No, not that
Okay.
I know of. I mean, if you have, I missed it, but
Okay. No, no, don't worry about it. So yeah, I will shoot that out over to you, and we will convene on that joint operation because the community is where it's at, and I love to give back to it, and I love that you're jumping in and getting in as a part of that because I think what it does is not only makes the people who receive the stuff happy, it also inspires other people to do the same. And we've got a pretty good perpetual motion machine that's going on here of everybody doing and saying all the right things and just having a really kick-ass community. I don't know of any other place that's that doesn't have that has it like this where it's just straight positive vibes, super encouraging, and it's good. Like there's other places I'm sure like them dudes from Figure Fight Club. They have a lot of people who are all very cool and stuff like that over there, and even the 3POA guys, they're all super nice whenever I talk to them. So yeah, it's all good. But the base of operations for me is always going to be the Twitter timeline. That's where it all started. And even though I've got my Destro Designs tentacles into all the different places, that's really just to spread the word and tell people to come over with us on Twitter, which I've been doing. And we've had a bunch of people in the chat, like call sign Smash. But I think Orcizio was watching for a while, and then he just kind of popped up. But I'm trying to think. I know there's more. But yeah, my brother. So listen, I would love to have you back in. I'm going to be organizing some group shows sometime soon where we are. It's going to be sort of like I'll have like 4 or 5 people, and we're each gonna. It'll be kind of like I'll pull up something like a figure, from the 3 3/4 line, and then I'll get everybody's take on the figure, and then we can kind of just get a group think about all the couple different aspects of the fandom from back then in the 80s. It'll be kind of like say something along the lines of like the surveillance port. Who had it? How did you play with it? What did you take it outside? What else did anybody did anybody else just kind of like utilize that besides the Joes or the Cobras or something like that, just kind of like a group show. So I will keep you in mind for that. I will reach out, and if you're interested, we will get you back on.
Oh hell yeah, I'm interested.
Nice.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, good. I hope this sparks a little something, and you start streaming as well. And I'll be happy to point people in your direction, my brother.
Well, yeah. I when I do stream, I generally just post it on Twitter, so
Nice.
you'll
Okay.
you'll see it there. And then yeah, if you want, I'd appreciate it. So thank you.
Fuck yeah, that sounds good. Well, once again, my brother, thank you so much for having me on. It was a great time. I had a blast, and as a
I think I'm supposed to say that to you. Thank you
Oh.
for having me on.
oh yeah, right. It's like when you're at a restaurant, and the waiter is like,
Enjoy your food.
enjoy your food, and you're like, yes, you too.
You too. Yep.
You
I've
too.
done that so many times.
I do it at the bank where the lady will be like, "Oh, thank you so much for your patronage," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, you too." It's like that. So no, but it's been great, my brother. I really appreciate you coming through, and dude, we will talk offline. I'll give you a call tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for coming and joining us for this nice, awesome edition of Live from Viper Den Studios. I am Destro Designs. This is Toy Box Dave. We're signing off for the night. Everybody have a good one. Later, y'all.
Bye, everyone.